Yo, hello and welcome back to the channel. Mijn naam is Viggy. En ik maak video's. Mostly of Yiddish. From a fact to the hunting video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Das helpt me and the channel out tremendously. And if you don't mind that you can't hit them join buttons to werden a member, so helpt that the quality and the quantity. Mit the andere Mine, travel, content. So give a hit the join button if you don't mind. Alright. Hooghet. Ja, du willst etwas schicken? Für das Unboxing-Video schick es bis zu 76 Brookside Avenue. Suite number 143, Chester, New York, 10918. Moishi M. Hello and welcome. How you doing? How was your day? Boss Nation. Yo, yo, yo. Fired. Chaim. Hello and welcome. Welcome. When are you posting the Parsha? Funny enough, I didn't end up editing. So liegt in the editor. I just need to finish. Nog day live. Nog day live, will ich es editen. Nachos. Hershey. Hello and welcome. Welke Hershey is? Hoi wij. Zijn is hoi wij? Ze oh jee. Ze oh jee. Nope, I didn't end up going. We're getting busy with making the Parsha of the week. But my guide going. Just go for the pressure. I really do mean it. But man darf sich starken. We gotta stark sich. Chaim, how was your day? How was you? To be honest, ich weiß nicht, wo die Resistance ist. Sie ist sehr stark, die Resistance. Sie gehen. I don't know, Farvus oder Zivus. I don't know what's about. Make a review on Chaim Levi. Wer ist Chaim Levi? Surviving, as we say. Yes, I know what you're saying. Came out today. Chaim Levi Vos. Chaim Levi Havos. Hanna gaat man reviewen. Koiden Hershey, die bist du gewesen amol, du bist der Neuer, bist der Alter, du. Und dann sagen sie, du, gib mir hier den Like-Button. Please. Sie geht da lange. Ein riesiger Weg. Penny G, good afternoon. But I love the Parsha, so we won't push you. No, that's only the Russia. I could have listened to it. Love it. Says thanks for Matas. So nicht von mir. Matas is the one who's read. Ich nehme the credit, was ich darf nehmen, but let's be real, it's all him. Was it Mora Masecho Hashem? What do you mean? Mit warten ab, wenn bis Doilung kommt heran. Tant Review on Joseph Kraus. Ich gehe auf Nachi Yavo. Holiday Escaping or Evolving? Beide können sein true at the same time. Oh, das ist der Niggen. Okay, I'm sorry. Lass mir geben mal sehen. Lass mir das geben mal her. Brooklyn. Brooklyn, how you doing? Nein, ich habe noch nicht gepostet. Ich habe es noch nicht gepostet. Liegt in meinem Editor. Und ich darf... ich darf es noch... kennen. Es heißt Chaim Levi oder Shulam Levi? Ich sehe, du hast Shulam Levi. Ich mache dann Chaim Levi. Lass mal sehen. Es ist Shloimi Halevi. Toby the Dove, how you doing? So Brooklyn, es liegt noch in meinem Editor. I didn't have enough time to edit it and post it. So it's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a minute. I appreciate it. Man darf lassen Mattes wissen. Man darf lassen Mattes. Ich bin just wie heißt das? Good evening, Toby the Dove. What sort of thing would you like to receive in your postbox? Isn't that the idea? I don't know. Not crazy stuff. $2-3 million. Mach a joke. 15 million. Preferably cash and gold. I'm joking. We'll rather go with 20 million. Sally. How you doing, Sally? Alles geht's. Hello and welcome. The second you said candy, my whole back teeth for the sour sticks. Golden. Balenciagas. Balenciagas. Bitcoin. We're getting such good suggestions. Go grab the chicken, Sally. A slice of pizza. That would be interesting. Sir, you got a slice of pizza. I'm gonna get so many sour sticks, yes. Oh, man. I'm gonna get sick and tired of sour sticks. Never. So, Brooklyn, yes. Martin.
Hello and welcome. Oopsie, wrong button.
How you doing, Martin? Chaim Weishan, what's up? Chaim is like... Ich will read in the comments because it kicked us wie Nachi's Häusen nicht zerrissen, so we don't wanna... Eating my drumsticks with one hand, commenting with the other. But relax. I don't know if Nachi loves so much the state of Israel. Why does he wear Balenciagas? What's wrong with Balenciagas in Israel? Nicht Balenciagas got Kinder? And why would you wear Balenciagas, showing off Balenciagas? You're paying for Balenciagas to wear them on your shirt. So wie ich soll zuhlen als Panzer zu kommen zu meiner Show. You get what I'm saying? Said they have certain type of ADHD. She discusses only her medical things with her doctor. Musk regrets. Yes. Das ist geschehen. Wir beide regretten. Wir können über beten Mechila. Balenciaga did a campaign with Kanye West. Kanye North. Hat ein Kind, das heißt North. Is always Northwest. I begeit mit der West. In sind wir der Best. Make me want to swear like a sailor. Do not swear. All right? Don't you fucking swear. Da. Kanye Potts. Kanye Potts. He puttazi. What cooking with the U.S.? I see that Nachi is interviewing Chaimo. Chaimo asked for a lot of money for his appearance. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Keep me for free. Chaimo doesn't come for free. Chaimo doesn't come for free. He's flying around like a bee. I feel Ellie Weber paid for what's his name? For Chaimo. Chaimo doesn't come for free. 8:12. It's in a few minutes. I think I'm going to hit the like button.
If you don't mind, hitting the like button goes a longer way.
Thank you. And if you are not subscribed, what are you doing?
$8:13. 2 minutes. Sind wir unheimlich in 2 Minuten? Nachher ist... Okay, rein ein bisschen Comments für 2-3 Minuten. Pinergy, it's almost time for that we should meet up. Nachi, it's beautiful to see how respectful the Rebbe's request not to post your podcast on Shabbos. Much respect. Don't understand. There's no homeless people in the community. It's your own decision to be homeless. Real estate agent. Good one, Sam Jacobo. When he went off, he was broke in Texas. And he was homeless. I sent him $100 to go buy clothing. And then he went and essay said on the live that I was trying to help him. He's just a liar. Okay. Those who don't know, he's a case. Okay. The problem with Joseph is that he wants to stay victim for life. Ooh, Sam hat sich genommen auf sein case. He's in dire need of emotional support. Well, if you know that, you should say it in a different way. Don't read it out loud. Oh, it's not Brooklyn. It's in the public's eye. Alright, Gevre. Jetzt gaan we doen naar Nachi Yavo, Nachi Uncensored, mit Joseph Kraus, Escaping or Evolving. The essay word is a very strong line. Well, so wie einer gesagt, seine Mama gesagt, dass der Frisch hat sich zerbrochen, und sie lief sich und wow, sie jener Masse. Trachtet sie sich, wow, und ich weiß, der Frisch kann bekommen jener Masse. Hello. So, jetzt gehen wir watchen der Nachi Uncensored mit Joseph Kraus. Farmer fängt will ich sagen, nicht jeder einer hat der Pain derselbe Weg. Nicht jeder einer dealt mit Pain derselbe Weg. Nicht jeder einer hat affected sein Pain. Mit was kommt mit. Du Menschen, they could move just right along. Du Menschen, sei pain, and wo the community hat nicht gegeben, don't let them shine and grow. So I just want to make that clear before I'm fang tun. Sei gering zu sagen von jenem, oh, es hat mich nicht gebothert, move on. Des, Jens. Everybody deals with their own. Und jeder eine schreit, au, a different Weg. Herrsche Green. Hello and welcome. All right. Jetzt gaan wir watchen Nachi Yavo mit Joseph Kraus. Let's get into it.
Gentlemen, today we have a special guest, Mr. Joseph Krauss. A lot of you guys requested to bring up Mr. Joseph to understand why is he hating on the community. Joseph Krauss is an ex-Hasidic guy from Monroe, New York.
Hershey, enjoy. Shia. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome.
22 years old, and I want to get to know...
Hold on. And by the way, Choget auch it is as a tosher. Choget is a tosher, so it doesn't mean as in ganzen fully Kiddush oil. I just want to say that.
Bring up Mr. Joseph to understand why is he hating on the community.
And by the way, zwei Menschen, was reden Yiddish. Ich meine, aber gekannt haben die Schmiss auf Yiddish.
Joseph Krauss is an ex-Hasidic guy from Monroe, New York.
Why?
22 years old, and I want to get to know you a little bit more. I don't know you a lot. I just did a little research in the last hour.
Ik heb in de laatste shoot research. All right. And by the way, ik heb van Tosh. Is ook het geween aan Tosher. Stark, das man darf das wissen.
Hour before you came, I did a little bit research. I watched a little bit YouTube videos, and I asked also our viewers to comment and ask what
Simcha Raz. How you doing? Hello and welcome.
questions they want to know, and I wrote it down, and I'm going to ask you some of them. So, hi Joseph, how are you?
Oh, good.
Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for hosting. Nachi provides, by the way.
VIP.
Shawarma, VIP service, doorman. You know what I mean?
Got it. Before we start,
yes.
I'm going to do a bracha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol mit boroi.
Amen.
I got you on.
Come on. Oy vey. Show me the comedy. Ich try to sound serious. Seltzer guy. Hello and welcome. That einer darf das klippen. That's funny.
I'm going to do a bracha. Baruch atah.
Wusste je, Pink jetzt geht in der Brüche, trinkt schon an den ganzen Tag. In der Avure ist Burich Atu. Und man sagt Omein. Zwei Chassidim. We don't say Amen. Noch hat man sagen in Congress a man and a woman.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol mit boroi.
Can you cut this video? Yes, I will cut. They said on the eigene.
I got you on the amen. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Talk to me.
Okay, that was good.
So what's going on? Joseph, 22 years old, you grew up where?
I grew up in a cult
That's the sound I practiced. I grew up in a cult.
upstate New York. It's called Curious Joel.
In wer geht watchen den Podcast besides for Jeden? And jeder einer weiß, was Kiddush Yoel is. Get to the point.
It's
Okay.
located about 50 miles north of New York City.
Monroe.
Where we're sitting right now. Monroe, New York.
Okay.
Also known as, yes.
It's not known as a cult. I don't know that cult, and I know Monroe and Curious Joe very well. But you're saying that it's a cult in your eyes. What is the reason you see it as a
Zeg me, shall do wat me darf stoppen. Hold your brakes. Was meint cult? What's the definition von cult? And then we'll take it from there.
cult?
Why I see it as a cult? First of all, I was born there. I lived there for the majority of my life.
Oh, okay. So, gewohnt auch in Tosh. The reason ich sogar sage, gewohnt in Tosh, because Tosh haben andere, they might have their own problems, their eigene issues.
I'm 22 years old, and I left when I was 17.
So give
And
me
I
a little
have-
bit about your life.
Oh, by the way, Seltzer Boy, du. Wieder. Man rief dich schon nicht Seltzer Guy, man rief dich Seltzer Boy. All right? You have gotten the name as Seltzer Boy.
Start from where you're a kid.
Exactly.
Which
Which part do you want to know?
Everything.
So I went to the standard Satmar school
Oh, I'm going to the standard then. I'm going to the high-end skill. All right.
that in Curious Joel, the cult.
The reason for was ich bin also CM is because stellt sich heraus als to the community. So as is scharf, ich auch sein scharf. Sally, thank you so much.
there's really no other options. There's no like private schools or public schools.
only school.
It's only one cult school that everybody has to go,
One cult
and that's all there is.
I see the
So I
cult
was-
is sitting on you somehow.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there shortly because, Joseph, you know a little bit about me, not much also, but
Yeah.
you know that I also grew up Hasidish in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And I don't see Hasidic people as a cult. I see Hasidic people very
Hershey. Hello and welcome.
good people. And again, I want to make clear to you and to the viewers that on this podcast, it's going to be a lot of
Brooklyn. Thank you so much, Brooklyn.
disagreement because I a little bit that I
I
checked.
hope
you
we
out.
can agree on
We're
everything.
gonna try to agree on certain stuff, but I know that I disagree with a lot of things you're saying. But I'm not here not to back up Hasidim, not to back you up, and I'm here to say whatever I personally think. And I personally think that Hasidim are great people, and I think that I don't belong there, and that's why I chose to leave the community, not the cult. I don't think Hasidim are a cult, but it's your opinion, and that's why you came to say why you think Kiryas Joel is a cult. And I'm sorry for cutting you in, so let's go back. So you grew up.
Cult is a group of people devoted to a particular religion or spiritual belief, often centered around charismatic leaders and specific set of practices. Well, hate to break it to you, that's a cult.
Something is cool. Go
First of all,
ahead.
I didn't come here to say why Kiryas Joel is a cult. That's one of your questions.
I want to know why you see it with so much.
Yankee T. Didn't you watch this already? Nope, I did not. Yet watch het de eerste mail.
We're having an interview,
Right.
and you say I see it with so much hate. I don't hate anybody. Okay.
You don't hate Hasidim?
I don't. I
Okay.
don't. I
Oh,
don't.
jetzt gaat de spielen deze week. But I got to, technically is a cult. Of the definition of cult is a cult. But nutzt es auf a negative term. Der stutz unzerhalb mit der ganze riesige Sache, was ich gedacht, Josh schmissen mit ihm. Hey, what's up? Wus ist dann Weitog? Wisst es riefen cult? Okay.
Hate people. Period.
You hate Judaism?
I don't want to be Jewish. I don't hate Jewish people. The word hate is a very strong word. Okay.
I have so much
I
questions.
associate the word hate with death.
I'm
Do I
gonna
wanna
let you
kill
talk.
people? I don't want to kill people. Yeah. You can ask as many questions as
No,
you
but I
want.
want to get.
Ja, aber ich will nicht sagen Jiddisch. Darf nicht sagen Jiddisch. Die einzigste Sache, wo es ist, wieso ist Jiddisch ist, in der jiddische Halacha, da Mama ist Jiddisch, bist du Jiddisch. If you leave, then you're not a Jew. It's over.
to know you a little
There
bit
you go.
before I get to the questions. When you're saying a statement, I don't want to be Jewish. It's sad
Yeah.
for you because I'm a happy.
Why is it sad for him? Weil die bist a happy Jew. Doch nicht. So technically, ist schon nicht kein Jid because he left. MW. Hello and welcome.
Jew.
You are
I
a
might
Jew.
be. I am Jewish.
Okay.
I might be not religious and seasons and whatever the case is, but
He's a seasonal Jew. There's spring, fall, Jews, winter, and autumn.
I am a proud Jew. And a Jew doesn't mean a Hasidic guy from Kiryas Joel. There's
Okay.
hundreds of
Well,
thousands.
where I grew up, I was told if you're not exactly how that Jewish cult is, you're not considered
didn't say
Jewish at
cult.
all.
Avrumi. Hello and welcome.
But when they taught you a certain way,
They
it
said
doesn't
if you
mean.
don't wear the black hat with the
They maar schon gleich umgehen. Wenn sie mal 4 Minuten in, and boom, boom, boom. No idea.
long curls to the floor, and if you don't wear like a rope around your waist to like
Die Sache ist, man darf du stoppen du der Podcast und sagen, hold on, wait a minute. Jeden gehen des watschen. Jeder weiß, was meint a Gartel. There's not a single non-Jew was geht herankommen des watschen. Escher du fünf. But I'm saying the majority sind in Jiden. So, it's like masber sein, für Jiden, was Jiden ist.
Gartel.
strangle you.
Gartel.
Yes.
Strangle you.
And
Strangle you is on him the neck, sir.
if you don't wear like
I'm
black
sorry, ich bin ein bisschen hyped up, if you get what I'm saying.
angel shoes or whatever you want to call it,
Angel shoes.
you're gonna go to hell. You're
So
not
maybe
considered
that teacher
Jewish.
was a little bit fucked in the
That
head.
teacher, the whole
but
community,
I-
it's like the
so again,
social norm.
That's
If you don't
my
do
problem.
it, you're not even socially acceptable.
Yeah, but
in that cult.
you're labeling a community, a full community, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people as a cult, which I interviewed a cult. We had over here, what's her name, Neo Halbrand, the head of the left to his daughter.
Ja, aber Jens ist mehr ein stärkerer Kult. So wie Seltzer. Se du, Seltzer Boy. Se du Perrier Seltzer und noch du Bar Maim Seltzer. Sei meer visie.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So I think that's more considered as a cult than what you're saying
Yeah.
is a cult. But go ahead.
So, by the way, that I will encourage your viewers to go watch that video because it is interesting.
You watched it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and by the way, thank you for bringing me on this amazing Nachi Uncensored
I'm happy.
podcast. But basically, yeah, I would agree with you that she comes from a real cult. By the way, also in my personal humble opinion, I think she over exaggerated a lot.
What? She over-exaggerated a lot. And what about you, sir? What about you?
Of what she went through and what happened.
I
just
personally
for
believe
for
her.
the
I
cloud.
interviewed her.
Nou, hey. Als dat overbrengt aan mensen wil heren van hem. Alright? Laat maar heren van hem.
And
I don't think so. I think that she is very, very honest, and it's her side of the story.
okay.
Hij zegt me, wenn man geht durch Trauma, gedenkt man nicht pinklich de Masses. In Oibs is 80% true, we're already good. You know? Jeder einer hat lieb zu sagen, du, dorten. You know what I'm saying?
And I also got a lot of messages from people after that they know her, and she went through a lot. She's
Yes.
a very good person, and she just, that's how she feels about her life.
Yeah.
I don't think she said any, maybe when she said 3 hours walk, it was an hour.
Es ist 6 Minuten in, man redet schon von der zweiten. Man darf, missed opportunity.
Hour and a half or an hour, it doesn't matter. The point is, the story is real. And I think that it was also an amazing interview. And I'm happy that you watched it. So
Yeah.
a little bit.
Maar ons wil maar wissen van hem. Van hem. Ons wil maar wissen van Joseph Kraus.
No, you a little bit got to know me. Okay, so go.
How's this episode? Oh, woo. Says, it is definitely aangekomen fire. Nachi is definitely aangekomen hot-headed. In Joseph is aangekomen, zij met dat... wil wazen naar point. Wil machen naar point.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I respectfully disagree with what you know what I mean. That
I like. He respectfully. I like it. Gewoon wenn man nicht scheine große riesige Werte.
what she said is
It's a
again,
positive.
it's sentence by sentence, thing by thing. But the bigger
The
point
majority.
that what I want to bring out, left toward the cult that we're discussing,
We're not discussing left tour. Why are we going there?
is just as much a cult as the Hasidic community where I grew up in Monroe, New York.
Ich verstehe, was meint zu sagen, du. Meint zu sagen ist, als rief, ins rief mir Jens Akkord, weil ins, wie Nachi redt, seht nicht der Chassiden wie Akkord. Geht ein Step behind. Rief des auch het Akkord. So wie wurde gelichtjes na Mesnaget en Achuset. Achuset halt alle Rebbes en nicht wert, nur sein heiliger Rebbe. A Mesnaget sucht gleich dan Rebbe auch het daran. That's it.
It's no different. If anything, Monroe is a bigger cult. The only difference of Monroe and Leftor is that Leftor is a newly founded cult and it's not established yet. Okay, it's going to be one day. It takes time for these things to be institutions and have enough followers with normal people that make a lot of money, that have houses, that have kids, and where like all of a sudden they become like mainstream. I actually have a formula that is cult plus time equals religion. You understand what that means?
Rata, usually is es verkehrt. Sie do a religion, and oder mit do Menschen, was pushen a cult. We only have an issue with cults when sie wird extreme.
When you have a cult, there's always like these scientific formulas. When you have a
By the way, the Weg, wie er is Masber, certain Sachen, kann man nämlich nehmen als, hat gesucht die Wörter, because he doesn't have a lot of words to use. So, man darf lernen a bissel zwischen de Schires. Man darf sagen a bissel like, oh, what is he really saying? Als sucht, als Leftour ist derselbe wie Kiris Joel, darf man sehen, für was sucht das? What does he mean by it?
cult and you add time, meaning the cult started today, you add 1,000 years, 1,000 years later, this cult is no longer going to be considered a cult. It's going to
What do you mean? It's still going to be considered a cult. It's just going to be 1,000 years.
be considered a religion. Now it's like, oh, so what do you mean? You hate Jews? You hate... I don't hate anybody. I'm just saying you started as a cult. Any religion, by the way. And the Hasidic community only started about 200 years ago. So it doesn't even have the benefit of time yet. Okay.
It has 200 years. It has 200 years.
It's a brand new, it's still very much in the cult.
MW, darf scharfe Pillen, sagst du? Sei gering zu sagen von jener darf scharfe Pillen. Wie viele Menschen fühlen wie ihm und sie können nicht expressen. Kann auch nicht expressen, aber gechoose zu sein auf the social medias. So man darf ihm aushören. Kann geben Insights. Kann geben Ideas. Wieso man kann sich correcten. You might not like everything he says, but he's still a human being. Still durchgegangen pain.
Phase. And even when it becomes considered a religion, doesn't mean it's no longer a cult. It just means that now it is more integrated. People have heard of it.
MW, ich feel wie das genitzt da. Checkmate move. Checkmate, you got it.
It's more accepted. Now, most people have never been into, what's it called? That called,
left tour?
Left tour, yeah. Most people have never been there or have never spoken to somebody. The fact is, most people that are in that cult are happy. They believe they have a beautiful life, and they believe the outside people suffer. And by the way, they're right to an extent. The only issue is that they're brainwashed just like the Hasidic community. It's called psychological manipulation. The people in the cult don't think.
The problem is, dass wenn man lernt sich aus größer, riesige Wörter, man fängt es zu nutzen, in irgendwie hat a point, but...
that they are in a cult. They think that they have the best lifestyle. They got it figured out, and everybody else has a bad life.
So let me explain you something. I'm one of the people who left the community. So to tell me that when they're in the cult.
By the way, you didn't completely leave. You still have at least your social life is still.
I left.
If you're gonna say stuff about them, you're gonna lose all your friends, all your family.
No. So let me make it clear. Okay. I'm not with the community. I don't need the community for anything. I personally believe that the community.
Het is genitzt als het is gewollt nützen als a checkmate. NW, dezelfde Sache. Het is gewollt nützen wie a checkmate. Jetzt. Oh, du hast moeite zu reden für die Community. So, automatically jetzt müssen sich defenden. Happens to be jetzt getreut zu nützen mit mir auch. Daher, das schmiss mit dem Weg for a few minutes. It's like a tactic, wo sie genitzt. Like, oh, die bist noch in der Community, weil blah, blah, blah. Oh, jetzt müssen sich defenden. Nein, ich kenne nicht von der Community. Ich weiß was ich will. Reverse.
They're very good people. And that's why I don't have a problem also with the community. But I don't need anybody. I need God on my side. I'm a believer. I'm a Jewish person. And I don't have a lot of categories that I want to put myself into. But what you said is that when you're in the cult, you don't feel it. So
definitely erover like the hand of the knee, weil geworden defensive.
Let me make it clear to you. I was also Hasidish. I grew up in Williamsburg in Brooklyn. And I grew up in Satmar, also very from, just like you.
But in Sommer noch, ich kann Ahnung wegen Joseph, und sie haben Namen nicht in, and we didn't get to anywhere. We didn't get to wer ist wie sie gekommen. There's so much information that 9 minutes could have explained so much. Jetzt just backtrack man a ganze Zeit. Now we're like just defending on what we said.
And I left already, and I'm still not saying, and I know that it was not a cult. It was a community that I don't like. I'm sorry, let me make it clear. It was a community. No, because...
Okay.
No. I want to
make... Dat hem gegeven een kleine grap. Ik heb hier de liefde geworden.
Make it clear. It's a community where it's not my place to be there. So that's why I decided to leave the community, and I don't have an issue with them.
De Sache is, nicht gekent weggaan, because he doesn't fit into the regular world. He didn't get training to the regular world. Se geht sich nicht so weg. It doesn't just leave. You don't take 22 years of your life and you just leave.
By the way, why are you so scared when you say I didn't like you? Like catch yourself, like you're just about.
Because I love them.
To the king
buddy,
and he's gonna kill you.
I don't. So let me explain you something.
So
if I would be scared, you would never post Shabbos in my life.
Okay.
I have zero fear of anybody.
But you
whoever
have
knows
still
me,
your things that
I have respect. I have a lot of respect because Hasidim are doing a lot of good things. And again, there is nothing to talk about. Meaning to say, we all know that. And even if you disagree that you don't want to be Hasidim and you think it's a cult, you're not going to disagree with me that the amount of good things that they're doing.
Okay, this is ook a crazy fallacy. Me bringt darauf, wie viel good seid ihr? That doesn't take away any bad they do. Zwei andere Sachen. But again, we miss so much information.
Is, I don't know a lot of communities in the world, so that's why I'm not going to say I don't like.
Yossi, hello and welcome. He didn't become open-minded. He still looks at everything black and white. There's a lot more nuances in every single point he's making. Yes, I agree, Yossi. There's a lot of points, but ook dat had ze tien met IQ level. Het had ook ze tien met range of spectrum of wie me is, wen me is, woes me zit. Alles is psychological. Alles is in the brain. Die willst dich out in a community. Wenn die hast nicht kein Issue mit der Community, willst du nicht stehen etwas because you still interact with the community. That doesn't mean the community is right or wrong.
I think they do good.
Chesed.
What is chesed?
You don't know what chesed is?
No, explain it.
If
Go
you're
to the most-
sick,
Why is he busy? He's busy that showing that the world is going to watch. The world is not going to watch this. My guys sitzen in yeshiva, my guys sitzen in Arbeit, Chevre in the car are going to watch this. Jeden gehen das watchen. Keiner in der draußen Welt interessiert nicht das zu watchen. 6 Menschen gehen das watchen.
People
if you're
don't, but-
sick in NYU,
Yeah.
at any given point in your lifetime, even if you're an atheist and you're saying that they were a cult, they will still gonna always bring you food to eat. And they have hundreds of volunteers going around to every single hospital in New York City.
Okay.
1 second, you asked me a question, let me finish.
Okay.
Whoa! Had technically übergenommen the situation. Technically had übergenommen als darf also empfern, werden also hier 9 minutes in.
So there was one little thing.
I want to answer on this specific point
Go
of the
ahead.
hospitals. That this is exactly, it's ironic because where I grew up, the Hasidic cult are
Hasidic cult. Just that point, as I try to herausbringen, because he just wants to get zingers. He just wants to get bing, bing, bing. Because they mind in the Welt is going to watch this. Nobody cares in the outside world.
so self-destructive that they hate Israel, a Jewish country. They
don't hate the Jewish country. They hate the Zionists, the ideology of Zionist. Wo ist the Zionist hitze the Welt? There is an argument to be made. Minnejan zijn gerecht or wrong.
believe Israel should be killed. That's what they believe. And one
They
of
don't believe Israel should be killed at all. At all.
the
I
things
think
they
you're very
always
En we daarvoor reden Yiddish doen. Ik versta niet zoveel ze reden in Yiddish.
said, let me finish a point, please. One of the things they always said is
As I guess darf zoeken, let me finish a point here. All right. I'm getting more excited as ik kan schroep met hem Ashmis.
that Israel, the
Ik heb gehad met hem een plan zo Ashmis, but in nog dan wat er gemaakt de review, but he's busy. But jetzt zeg ik, als ik heb enough ample time, zie gewoerd weer veel met information naar hem.
Zionists started the issue of anti-Semitism by posting back in the day. It was newspapers by writing articles negative about Germans and whatever. Basically, how do you say it?
Obviously he doesn't want to talk Yiddish, but so geen bekwemer.
Heat up, like get people very angry towards Jews. Yeah, I don't know how to say it in English. Unreizen, okay? so to get them angry at the Jews, and then they came and said, "Oh, we have a solution. How about we create a Jewish state so all the anti-Semitism goes away?" So this is just the story, the narrative, the talking point that the Hasidic community always would say. This exact story, and they said it's like a metaphor where somebody burns your house when you don't see, when you sleep, and then he wakes you up and he's like, wake up, there's a fire, we gotta run, and he starts to save all your equipment, your camera equipment, your safe with your money, with, you know what I mean, all your things, and you're like, wow, you saved my life, you woke up me and all my kids and took.
Brooklyn, yeah, I can schicken email to vragen questions, but it's not about eating him up alive. There's not, ich will ihm nicht gewinnen. The reason for was ich will mit dem Hubmaschmis is because I feel like there's a lot of people who suffering in the community, who kennen Herren vernehmen, Herren certain Sachen werden besser. He has already his way. Geht sich nicht changing. He's not going to get different. He's going to go through, he's going to fight his Devant, and then he's going to learn.
Got all my valuable belongings, but really he's the guy who started the fire in the first place. But I disagree. I support Israel. I'm just saying what they told us, what they brainwashed.
By the way, Sally, I kind of disagree because the 10 minutes that I did speak with him, he didn't have that, der starke, this is alles defensive. The way we say sits do is defensive. But I'm gesagt, we're going to give you an hour. gleich umgehen mit Cold in Wenn ich geredet mit dem 10 Minutes, nicht gewinnt kein Cold Talk, nicht gewinnt gut nicht. He was very smooth, alles gewinnt fine. And I told him even when I invited him to come for a schmiss, I told him, there's no sound bites. I'm not here to get you. No, you're not changing anything. My guys time hoben a schmiss, and the guys must be on points of view. Mostly not affiliated. Hello and welcome.
Us to hate the Jewish state. They are Jewish, but they believe if you don't wear the big
Good one,
curls
Toby.
and the black
By the
clothes,
way, that's one of the things I disagree.
He's going to change because he is just in a real bad place. No, I'm saying he's going to try to fight. And met Zayn vutitzach. But when he's not on camera, when nicht auf the camera, is sach mehr smoother. Like, he thinks right now, I'm guessing, I'm educated guess, as meint, the world's going to listen to him. He has a 1 hour to suchen vutitzach, to give it out. He's saying it's a cult, blah, blah, blah. But when a guy came to me, if we're going to have the shmiz, nobody's listening. It's going to read Yiddish. We're going to have a regular talk. He's going to make some points. I'm going to make some points. We're going to learn who he is. To geben zu verstehen. Oh, okay, this is just a wall. This is a sacha vandu, by the way. If you guys don't hop, as this is a vant. A größer portion of this a vant.
Generally,
If you were a little smarter, you can't even make a normal argument. Do is this, Brooklyn. Besides you're smart, nicht smart, a big part is why is he on this channel? If he wouldn't have said all these other videos, wollte nicht gemacht the McDonald's videos mit shaven videos, then Nachi wouldn't interview him. So just that, because gewinnt also hyper and so he has to now match it. And you can see the energy is coming in, and Nachi now has to defend the Yiddish community. Nachi became now the Rebbe.
But let me finish with a hospital.
But his whole life is a wall. No, but when you are angry and du bist ungesetzt and du bist ungekackt, you're gonna want to fight. He's young. He's gonna have, or he's gonna find out. You know.
The hospital. The same thing is, who created the issue? Because I was in the hospital. I had a car accident where I have a spine injury, and I was in the hospital for a week, by the way, and nobody knows.
You got a spine injury because you're not in a week in the hospital with a spine injury. I'm just saying.
Hasidic people came to visit me.
which hospital?
Morristown Medical Center in New Jersey.
So,
But wait a minute. There was 5-star meals and respectfully even better than the shawarma, the 5-star shawarma that Nachi just bought special for the podcast. It was even better than that. Why? Because I guess that's how hospital food is in my experience.
What? And how should somebody know that he's there?
Point is, the Hasidic community created rules where you can't eat what you want.
I don't think you could have a good schmooze with him. Chaim, ich habe schon geredet mit him 10 minutes. Stamba a barbecue. And he was very level-headed. Like, compared to you, ich sehe the Wand. And not only do I know that, but zwei eingeladen sich herumgesetzt leben mit ihm. I was talking to him for 10 minutes. It's a regular, cordial conversation. Der Hevermann hat sich herumgesetzt, zwei eingeladen sich herumgesetzt leben mir. It didn't take 30 seconds. Sie haben gemacht narische comments. He started, his wall came down. Hat ungeheben acten, also wie ich gesehen du. I got up and I said, I'm not feeding into the situation. You guys are playing with his feelings and you're not sensitive, and I left. So, ich kann es sehen.
Can only eat their
Did you speak? Ja, ich habe geredet in Yiddish. I believe so. I don't remember.
food. If it's kosher, it has to be a certain way. What, by the way, for people who don't know, what does kosher?
Siehst, wuss ist busy Masbes an der ganzen Welt, wuss kosher ist. This is a Yiddische podcast, meaning jeden gehen des watschen. Jeder, wuss watsch des, weiß, was kosher meint. Jeder.
I mean, kosher
Everybody
just
knows
means
what
that
kosher
it
is.
follows the millions of rules that you have to and can't do to have food ready to eat. So there's so many rules that it's impossible to make it say, okay, this is kosher or not. There has to be a specific certification saying it's kosher. So they created a problem where you can't eat, and now they have the great solution of people bringing food.
Joseph,
What? I get it. I get it. There are certain things wo Said kann nicht essen if you're an observant Jew. Kannst du nicht essen. But es kicken nicht aus, wie es ist, du, es fehlt Grobbe bei den Jiden.
make people believe that they're so good. Wow, they bring you food in the hospital. I don't need your food. I just call
Hat nicht jetzt gesagt, dass man mich gebringt kann Food und das ist Antana?
the number in the hospital on the drug 0 and you say, hi, can I have bacon, egg, and cheese?
Joseph, I'm
Das was ist die erste Sache, was kommt darauf? Bacon, egg and cheese. What is that the first thing that comes out? Because this is am Wand. That's his wall.
not wishing you to be in the hospital. I can tell you one thing: a lot of my father is now in the hospital, and
Sorry to hear that.
and lately I'm there a lot, and I can tell you that the amount of people who the chesed is helping out is insane, and it helps a lot. And I can tell you that my father gets everything and anything.
Interessant, wenn ich bin gewesen a volunteer für High Lifeline, bin ich gewesen ein Tag bei a patient in a couple, nicht a couple, whatever, a kind gewesen the next to bed, and the mama fragt mich, like, I see people coming here, Nash and candies, and me spielt, and games and stuff. Like, what's up? So ich habe ihm gesagt, organization sagt zu mir, wow, my son is in the hospital for a week. Nobody came. So das kannst du nicht wegnehmen. There are some good things, but the problem with them is, man kann es nicht heraufbringen. Somebody is in pain, kann man nicht heraufbringen. Oh, we do so much good. Weiß von der alle good. He's not crazy. Or is he?
He needs and he asks, and what I'm trying to understand is, you know, I feel.
Nachi will gedacht machen klura, der Podcast geht nicht herausgehen zu der Welt. Ich suche es immer, because you can see. In Masber kosher fa kosher. Also wie ich mache ein Video auf Yiddish, wusst Lille, wenn Esrig meint. Hello, jeder einer weiß, was Watchman Channel. Weiß, was Lille, wenn Esrig ist.
You know, I'm trying to understand what, like I said, what is the anti that you have? Meaning to say, the fact that you don't want to eat kosher, no problem. You don't want to keep Shabbos, go for it. Do whatever the fuck you want. No problem.
Whoa.
Nobody's judging. Why do you care that you have a whole community?
Joseph, why is the title Tuesday? Is it not Tuesday? It's Wednesday? I'll change it right away.
It works for them.
Nachi's father's in the hospital. Go stay with him. Joseph.
For a lot of people, it works. And that's why I said that I don't, you know, I chose to leave. I'm having a good life. I'm not religious. I am religious. Depends on my mood. The point is I'm trying to do Nachi. Okay, I don't owe anybody anything. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want.
Woo!
Okay, a lot of Hasidim are against this podcast also. So don't tell me, you know, earlier you said I need to be careful.
Okay.
I don't need to be careful. Shit.
Whoa, I can bring points that he doesn't care. I changed it, Joseph. Back to non-queer.
I don't care for anybody, whatever
I think
they
you still
say.
have your limits, though.
I don't have.
This is a card was spielt. The card was spielt. Oh, you have limits. Oh, die bist bouncy to some type of restriction. Huh, I got you. This a card was spielt. In Nachi fell into the trap with that card. By the way, du Menschen versuchen, ich suche es als Sache, this is the greatest country in the world, weil uns haben freedom of speech, und noch andere Sachen. But wenn Menschen suchen etwas, als sag mal zu mir, und ich sage, hey, such nicht das, or whatever, sagen sie, oh, wie ich habe gemeint, freedom of speech. Sag ich, ja, kannst du sagen, but es ist nicht, du kannst freedom of consequences. Meaning, die Guys suchen etwas, gegen somebody, and jene Guy wollen aufhören, nichts nach Business, there's a consequence that you're gonna pay. Nichts die Kartel gegen ihm. You know? And by the way, Joseph, wenn ich changes, wenn ich schrieg zu Wednesday, sind wir es noch in Tuesday.
Limits on anything. If I would have limits, I wouldn't
But he doesn't have the cards.
bring up
But he
a
does.
lot of people.
Okay.
Trust me. The fact that I'm bringing you up is also something that a lot of people are going to hate. You're giving him a stage and giving him that. I don't care what people say. I do
understand.
what I
get
want.
it, yeah.
Okay, so what
So he doesn't get it. Genitzt de Kartel, es geworfen, und jetzt warft mir zurück. Jetzt sagt oh, okay, I'm folding, I got you. But he used it, and he got him a little on the skin.
I'm saying is, so I also chose in a certain way, similar to you, to do whatever I want. But to come and blame and be bashing on
Das ist, weil man macht Geld. Kannst du das einmal getreut Masbe zu sein. Einer, wo es geht weg von der Community, wo es nicht easy, but is matzliach. Oder, the community is not directly, the effect from the community is not directly not letting him grow in life, is not going to understand the pain. Einer, was kann ich machen, kein Geld wegen der Community, geht die ganze Zeit sein, the community's problem. Nach ihm macht Geld. Meaning, es klingt als er successful. Und wenn ich so successful, meine ich the house, the car, the vacations, Dubai, bezahlt. Is paid for. Then you have like a ease. Also wenn man sieht, der inge Mann, was hat, sei successful, dreift a scheine Car, hat scheine Gläser mit scheine Zeigers, und fleet of vacations. And man fragt ihm, du hast ein Problem mit der Community. Hey, I'm all good. Yeah, because die kannst fliehen on vacations. Die fuhrst zu Vegas zu a Show, die fuhrst zu Colombia. Und noch kommst du zurück, weil die 2 geduschen wirst nach Hause, und die bist da 30 in Schiel und jeder geht dich covered. Of course hast du nicht kein Problem, aber wenn du bist dem Schmeckel, in die kannst du ja wegfuhren, ist es die ganze Zeit, sie liegt in front von dem Pool die ganze Zeit, you're living with that pain. And that somebody cannot understand, you know? SG, hello and welcome.
Online saying that they're a cult,
The holes in the car. He has holes in the car.
and saying that they're hurting people, and why? Why don't
Because they are hurting people. Zij definitely tien am wei. Die fühlst es da nicht. Die meist, als wenn Joseph hat a successful business und macht a sach scheine Geld. Ich will nicht Numbers, ich will nicht wissen, wie kleinkäppig ich bin, es kommt zu Numbers. Und hat sein Haus bezahlt, und alles ist fine. Do you think he would jump around hating on the community? He wouldn't say a word. Would gegangen his own way. Nur I guess kann nicht. Steht ihm alles im Weg. Sein Englisch, sein Accent, in draußen die Welt. And most probably needed some professional help growing up, which a lot of people do need. And he didn't get it. Und trefft sich 22, nicht kein Yid, nicht kein Goy, doesn't have an argument to stand on, can't make money, will nicht zurückkommen. Zertitt sich. So is in pain.
you choose your life and move on and enjoy life? And by the way, you can still be friends with all these old people that you had in your life, and some of them were very good to you. I believe so. I don't believe that everybody in your life were bad to you.
Ich meine, als ob ich gehen zu Nachi, zu Uncensored, we'll have it in the jacuzzi zusammen. Joking, was a joke for the chat.
What is this thing that you're holding that you're trying to, you don't want to let go? You're always
Because I can nicht. Because he can't make money. He can't move on with his life.
busy bashing, going up online, trying to do, like, I personally think that it's stupid. You know, you're putting on a light and off on Shabbos. Like, who gives a shit? I also post Shabbos sometimes, right? A lot of times. Most of the times I post, okay?
Jetzt ist der amount of posting. Wie viel? Dreimal Chodesh poster. He got it.
I don't care. Like, I don't do it on purpose to hurt anybody. I do it because at this point I'm living a life.
Joseph, wenn einer tut etwas, ist schwer zu sagen, oh, take off the pain and do something else. He can't do something else. He did go away. His going away was not so easy. Kehrt. Ich bin sicher, die Geister an in Joseph's mind, in sein Herz, kannst du sehen, wie stark kehrt. How much he really does care. Because you can see how much he cares the other way. Wie viel effort like daran. And if only he would have guidance and direction and a good education, we could have all been happy.
Like that, and I personally want, and let me tell it to you, that when I will settle down and get married again and have a new life, I want to be more
Levi, he's a clown? Well, he's a clown from welche community? There you go.
religious, meaning to say I want to keep Shabbat. I think it's healthy for yourself and for the family, and why not if I can do it? But the point is, I'm not doing anything to hurt anybody. And that's why my life is good, and that's why I have no problems with anybody. Nobody, you know, they let you live.
Und auch es ist 200 Minuten Zeiten, Nachi, wenn wollte gehad, TikTok, mit alle Sachen, wenn wollte weggegangen, maybe you would hear some hate. Jetzt nur hat scheine Hose, fuhrt auf Etzisruhe, ist matzliach, the bank is full, you know.
As long as you don't come and bash for nothing, what is this bashing situation? What's going
Penny, exactly. We should only feel compassion to him. Exactly.
on?
So I'll answer. First of all, you label me a lot without knowing. You say I bash
know because
people.
1 hour was enough to watch videos to
Okay.
understand that you're saying they're a
Okay.
cult and they want only bad. And even now, I'm trying to give you an example of kosher food. They're helping out hospitals. You're telling me no.
The answer to that is, after I left,
Hat a sach pain. Hat a sach pain. And it is so clear. It's like looking at a donkey and saying, it's a mouse. It's a donkey. It is in pain. Like, you got to move forward. Like, move forward in the conversation, I mean.
Hasidic cult.
Ah.
I was homeless for a few years. Even up to this point, I'm kind of homeless.
A few years. Weggegangen bei der 14. He's 22. So a few meint 2 Uhr.
And the meal that I ate before we started that you bought, thank you by the way,
My pleasure.
was my first meal of the day. Why? Because I don't have money for food.
But ich meine, wohnt in daheim. Wohnt in daheim. What is he lying about? Oh, maybe he doesn't eat kosher food?
Okay.
Why is that?
That's exactly
Because
what I want to
growing
ask you.
up, I was denied a basic secular education.
Whoa. I'm reading above the lines here. I'm reading between the lines. A good education would be beneficial, but arbeiten in a warehouse and machen basic, also wie a Spanisher, a illegal guy, was kenn ich kein English, oder a Spanisher was is legal, but kenn ich kein English, then how did he become legal? Ich darf doch machen the test. So, checkmate, Viggy. And can arbeiten in a warehouse and machen Geld in kaufen sandwiches. So that I don't get.
Of being able even to read, speak.
Those guys shouldn't even get this attention. I disagree. I disagree. Ich meine, darf nicht die Attention, but ich meine, du hast Menschen, die laden wie ihm, die haben nicht sie sind, let's put it 10% smarter, so they don't have the guts or balls to do what he's doing, and they're in pain. So maybe they could grow.
And understand and write English.
Okay.
The reason that is psychological and physical manipulation and control of a cult's population. When they cannot speak and read and write.
Ja, aber seht ihr, musst du, den ganzen missed situation, als kommt von Tosh. So es ist nicht nur, you know.
Even the language of their own country where they are, that most people speak and read and write, there's no way you're going to have a life of any kind. Even working at McDonald's, you can't do it.
Du kannst aber arbeiten in a warehouse. The Spanish arbeiten in a warehouse.
Because the first thing you do is you have to read a sign how to flip a burger.
And you have to read it over and over again. Die stehst in der line, the guy's, hey, Jesus, how do you flip it? Like this. Okay. Thank you. That's just halten an line on the side.
How are you going to... And by the way, it's much more complicated than reading a sign. You got to take orders. You got to do this and that. I worked at McDonald's, and it was really hard. I even kind of got fired, you know.
Wie sollte bekommen the job? Man geht doch durch Training. McDonald's hired dich show off the gas. The guys durch etwas a certain training. So if he didn't know English or the line on the menu, he didn't even make it stage 1. He never even had a job in the first place.
Just because I couldn't even do a simple task as that. And I don't think I'm stupid or anything like that. I don't
Hello.
have such a low IQ that I can't even survive and find a minimum wage job.
Sure you can't. What are you saying? So obviously, it's just an A. The Q is...
That every schmuck, as you say in one of the languages, can do. The reason is it was by design. The cult
It's so cute then. It's a cult. Whenever we can say the word, it's a cult. I think we get the point. I think we get the freaking point.
created that, so I'm dependent on them for the rest of my life to stay so they can harness me to be part of their cult.
So first of all,
my whole life, ever since I left, I am in pain, not necessarily emotional pain, but just life is super hard. But
and you feel that it comes from the past.
It comes from how I was manipulated. And the reason why I make all these videos and the reason why I'm making this podcast is to bring awareness.
Sie weimen. Bringt awareness, sie weimen. Sie jeder eine, wo es redt Yiddish, wo es kennt English, darf dich reden Yiddish.
People don't know it. And I also want to say, I'm not an anti-Semite. I don't hate on Jews. Definitely not. But also not on Hasidic Jewish cult. I don't hate on them either.
Ja, ist da gerade. Jeder mal so cold darf man trinken als Shot. Ich meine, bei 15 Minuten in, we would be on the floor.
there. I'm just pointing out that
you're
it's a
hurt.
problem.
That you're still-
it
it
can
still
be
hurts you on a
fixed
daily
through
basis.
legislation. It could be fixed through
Ooh.
different ways.
Legislation. Rapow.
Let's try not to fix them. Let's
So-
try to get to understand
And
you
I'm
why.
not hating.
19 minutes in, now he wants to get to know him. I think he has missed the boat. Doop. The boat has left the dock.
Anybody, and I'm not bashing anybody on my videos. I'm just pointing out facts, what they do
In your
and
eyes.
don't do. Fact. Is it
Okay,
a fact
so
that
one
they
second.
can't eat, they can't order general
One
food
second, I wanna
in the
go-
hospital? A sick guy in the bed will rather die
One
than
second.
eat.
Nobody
provided
dies.
in the
Everybody knows
hospital.
how to say, bring me up food.
So-
But let's put it a second on the side.
That was funny. Everybody knows how to go. Man kan auf einem Phone sagen, me food. So, I think they understand it. And man can machen vielleicht to the nurse, nom. I think that could work. I think that this is just a comedy, Gevra. Let's be real. This is Avant. And now I know it. I'm glad that I had the 10 minutes with him because now I know this is all really just a show. It is in pain. That's why I'm laughing. Ich mache es schäuzig von ihm. Ich mache es schäuzig. Because I know it's really a vant. And if you guys would see it, you would understand it.
They can't eat the general food. They can only eat
They have
the
kosher.
specific.
Okay, so they have
Okay.
kosher. They bring them
So
kosher.
the point is,
This part
if
of
there
it.
wasn't, if there's somewhere in China where there's no kosher,
If there's someone in
then-
China that's Pakir Nefish, they eat also anything.
This is so funny. This is so funny. By the way, in China, do sushi. Sushi is kosher.
Okay, but let's go back a second. What you're saying is, and I feel you a little bit, I feel your pain that you're saying that it hurts you still on a daily basis, the fact that you didn't have education. So first of all,
Sam, is he a member of the Ku Klux Klan? Ay.
I agree with you that education needs to be better. I absolutely agree. One second, I was in school, and we were in the same Satmar school.
Not
We
the same.
Whatever, Satmar,
Not even
Williamsburg,
close,
Monroe,
okay.
whatever. The point is, we had an English teacher, but it's not enough. We learn one hour a day, and also you're throwing oranges on the teacher. It's not enough. But I can tell you one thing, to say that because of that, okay, you don't have a job and you couldn't work in some place, look at me. I didn't have education.
you're the exception.
One second,
And also,
one second,
you
one
might
second.
be bluff. As everybody
I
knows,
hate-
social media is fake.
True,
So
true. It could be I'm not-
how real this is if this
Okay.
is somebody else's apartment.
Sure,
I believe
true.
you. By
True,
the way, you
could be
travel every
everything
day
is
to Israel. I don't know, but you're also the exception. You're aware of that. Like there's
So
a
wait a
big
second.
organization, Footsteps, that handles most of their people are like homeless
So one
and
second,
struggle
I want to
really
give a point.
hard.
I want to give you a
Yes.
point. I didn't mean to say just on me. I have multiple, if not dozens, of friends, ex-Hasidim. Not everybody's rich, not everybody, but we have all of them. It's like a regular Christian. You have people who are rich, you have people that don't have money, you have people that make money, but nobody's, like, most of the people, a normal person that wants to have a house to live, I'm not saying a penthouse, I'm talking about the wants to have a regular life, wants to have a little car and whatever, wants to have money to buy, but you said that you didn't eat this morning. A person that is focusing to work and that wants to do something with their life is going to find a job and is going to figure shit out.
Yeah, I figured it out,
Regardless
but
if you
it's way
come-
harder. I
It's a
had
little
to
bit
be
harder.
homeless.
Fine.
Life is hard, my man. Life is hard. Life is hard. En die eerste show is gefigured dat die kan arbeiten in a warehouse. Bis die wirst homeless. I think you gotta check on the RQ.
I
It's
agree.
a little bit. I
No.
constantly
The
keep getting homeless again for different reasons.
I personally think that the fact that you're becoming homeless is your own fault. Why? I don't know.
This is
And-
blaming. This is going.
Joseph, we need a minimum paying job. If Viggy sends you an email, you will find somewhere. You will make a nice resume, and we get you a therapist if you really want people. Will help. Asache du de Wand. Stammes wollte ich gelacht. Stammes, fahr ich treffe him. Like, if I didn't meet him and didn't have the 10-minute talk, I would have a different situation now. So I'm glad I have him getroffen. Because I know this is all, big portion is just Avant. He's using words, buzzwords, you know.
Maybe-
Blaming the victim, by the way.
Okay, so I apologize if you take it in that way, and I might get a lot of hate for saying such a thing. But I still believe that it's a decision. I feel that every
It's a
homeless
decision.
every homeless on the street.
First of all, no, that's a different homeless that you see on the street. The guy on the subway, he's a drug addict. A guy that one of the things, by the way, what is a cult is we were in the Hasidic community. We were brought up with higher standard. That's my opinion than the average guy. Even McDonald's food, when I first tasted it, the photo versus what it really is, I was really disappointed. You know, like I was like, this is it. Like
What's the gemeint, die bekommst für $1.72?
fast food is really like trash. It's like it's nothing
You don't have to invite him for a Shabbos meal. You have to invite him for a Tuesday, give him a große hug, and enjoying life.
like the photo. You know, it's like very cheap food, and we were brought up in generally. I think most
Yeah, and that's what kosher food is for you.
Hasidic people in a way a more higher standard of life. That's how every cult works.
Zach, hello and welcome.
I'm not saying a cult is always a bad thing, by the way. There's
De Sache ist, Levi, als man miss das reviewen. Man miss geben du a situation.
constructive cults where if you make a cult that everybody who makes $1 million has to share and educate his fellow cult
YL.
members on how to become a millionaire, that will be a constructive cult, right? It will be for the benefit of
Holly, wie nützt die ganze Zeit. Cult. Ah, it's so funny. I'm telling you, you most probably don't understand. Ich habe ihn getroffen, and nothing like this. Nothing like this. This is literally an engine ungezinn just to stam unzudrehen. Stam unzudrehen, I tell you. Ah, it's so funny.
of all the members. But then there's the purely destructive cults like the Hasidic community where almost all the
JH.
rules are destructive.
Hello.
And a lot of rules started with good intentions. Let's say if you make a rule that everybody has to be helping each other to become a millionaire, but eventually it gets twisted where it says that everybody has to steal everybody's money. I'm not saying this is an actual example, but I can give you plenty of examples how literally
So, for was gestern nicht an example? Gib the example then.
a rule started for one purpose and it got so
I always wanted nach Chule when get an Usha test. Sam.
much twisted that it ended up being backfiring. You know, just like when somebody hears somebody else saying something and then he transfers information by mouth to somebody else, and then by the 10th person, the statement is completely changed and flipped around.
But back to I want to go back to where we were saying that
Wow. So much missing. 23 minutes. Ich weiß gut nicht. Gut nicht. And I'm kind of glad, weil ob geht wel kommen, jetzt noch der Reviewer. He's gonna watch this. So. Und ich try nicht zu bashen, just I know. Lass mal sehen, was geschehen noch, wenn kommt und 23 minutes. Ich weiß nicht, wie aufgewachsen. How his life was.
you can be homeless in certain situations. I feel that the reason why you could get to such a situation is because you are walking around the streets and streaming on internet, and you can always go back home. You always have family,
Sally.
cousins, friends in Monroe, New York. You choose to sleep, to be homeless, and to go to Texas
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck it should be. One second, let me finish. Let me finish
well, I
a
wanna
little
answer
point.
that.
A little point.
Okay.
So I just want you to understand my point, and then
Yeah.
you continue. So I feel that the fact that you're saying that you get, and it sounds very sad, I become homeless, I do like that. I think it's because of you deciding that you don't want to touch or talk or be close to any Hasidic guy. This is where you grew up. It's part of it. If you want it or not, this is where you grew up. So when you need their help, go and reach out for help, and it's totally fine.
They wouldn't help me unless
I don't think so.
That's not true. That's not true. But again, he's not looking for that help. It is a so verweitucht. And after what I saw, what happened in front of me, that two Hasidische guys haben sich herumgesetzt für Leben ihm, and he right away switched because they have gleich gegangen auf seine insensitivities und ihm gleich mit seinen Narrigkeiten, and his defenses come up.
If I practice
Every time, Brooklyn, when needs the F-bomb, is it just to prove his point. Just to prove, like, I got this.
If you're
if I'm
online,
part of their-
listen.
if I'm part of their cult,
If you're going to be in
if I
Gaza,
dress-
if you're going to be in
yes.
Gaza, you're
Seht
going
ihr mich, like, jetzt a Stelle auf. I will show you. I got you.
to be streaming all day against
Thank you, Livin. Appreciate you.
their leaders. They're also, nobody's going to help you. Not
Faking until you making? Sam.
Jewish, Christian, it doesn't matter where you are. So that's why I'm saying the same reason why they might not help you, and it makes sense. If you're streaming all night, all day, that they're killing people, they're a cult, whatever the case is, whatever you're saying, it might be they're not going to help you, and it makes sense. And you can't blame them for not helping you because you're saying that they're the nastiest people
Once
on
again,
earth.
they're the ones who created the problem. And why did I become homeless? I could have gladly kept living in my house with everything. Everything would have been provided, including a girlfriend, a wife. Usually should be decent looking women.
Preferably decent looking. Well, she's missing a leg. We got this.
And that you like arranged marriage that I'm not has a lot of problems. It's like very not good.
I also don't like this.
Okay, so everything would have been provided. I mean, look at I left before any of my family
Alles geht sich. Behalt die an der Tab, was weiß mir, wie viel watschen live für das Sibbe. You know?
got married. Now they all have a wife, kid.
Penny, ich meine, er nützt das just see to level up the playing field, you know? Die sucht, ich such. Die sucht, ich such. Ich bin Hecher.
And you know, they have a life, you know.
Sometimes you feel jealous.
A little
Honestly.
bit maybe, but I chose.
Ooh, good one. Good one. That was a big tell. That was a big tell.
Life, you know.
Sometimes you feel jealous.
A little
Honestly.
bit maybe, but I chose.
Not maybe. A little bit for sure.
And I'm being honest when I say a little bit because other people would say no. The thing is,
He's gay in his own admission. He's trying to be gay. Gay in the happy sense, if you know what I mean.
I chose this life and I knew it was going to be hard. By the way, I did.
Oh, so he did choose that. He knew it's going to be hard. Okay. So then he was homeless. Welcome to being hard.
I didn't know it was going to be this hard.
Oh. Als nur gechoosd a bissel hard. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I can take the world. Only a little. No. Wenn die willst choose etwas, and then besucht man, wenn die pischt auf der Welt, ist eine Sache. Aber wenn die Welt pischt auf dir, wer ist dann nass?
But I knew that in order to get to greatness and not stay in the
Ooh.
cult, it's
Ooh.
going to be a struggle. I thought it was only going to be a year or a little bit more. Now it's been a half a decade almost.
It's over. He's never gonna come. He's never gonna. Not him personally. When the guys are so, you're never going to turn around. You have to let go of the hate. You have to find how to get Schule mit der Matzav, to see what your strengths are. Nicht haten the ganze Zeit. And again, he's going through that process. Other guys is a so lernen by gits. Other guys is so lernen by force.
Since I left, and it's still hard, but I keep telling myself that we're almost at the end. And I mean, many times I would say right now and recently, it gets way better than it used to be. But then it's like it feels sometimes where you make
You're
three
going
steps forward,
Forward
you
and
go
4
two-
steps back.
But at the end of the day, I'm not homeless today. Okay, I'm
Wiese.
sort of. It's hard to explain, but like let's say a year ago, for the majority of the year, I wasn't homeless at all. I had an apartment.
When you're
and
saying
everything.
you're homeless, what does it
So-
mean? Where do you sleep?
Well, I sleep in homeless shelters. I sleep in.
For real?
I've slept in a homeless shelter.
No, are you sleeping now in a homeless shelter, or you were sleeping?
It's
I
hard.
don't feel, Joseph, I don't feel that you belong there. I feel that
I
you
know.
have-
I know. I try my best, and I could
Verwusst kann er nicht oben kein warehouse job.
easily in 5 minutes put on all the religious clothes that
You
they
don't
want
need to
me,
put a stop with that.
change, and not only
Joseph,
that,
it's not
I have
true.
to stop. They want me to stop.
Joseph, it's
the
not true. You're
advocacy.
putting up statements which is not true.
What
You
is
don't
not
need
true?
to put up Hasidic clothes to get where to sleep.
I have to do
Stop
a
it.
lot.
You don't.
Okay, where can I go to sleep?
The ma-
Besides, get it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Why can't he get a warehouse job? Packen boxes, machen $15 a shoe, and then rent an apartment. What is he talking about?
maximum that you need to do to be respectful is to put a yarmulke. You're walking into a community with a lot of Hasidim. Put your yarmulke. I swear to God, there's no way you're
Where?
staying on the
Who-
street.
who is gonna-
Anywhere.
who?
I will get you people.
You
I
will
promise
get.
you.
This
There's
is my
no
first
such a
time
thing.
meeting you. No.
So what I'm saying, I'm
The-
telling
the
you
Hasidic
that
community
nobody
is
will
not
kick you
designed
out
that
if you're
way.
going to a place, and any place you're knocking on the door
Okay.
to any person in Williamsburg, in Borough Park, in Monroe, and you're telling
Yeah.
them, I'm coming from a Hasidic family, I'm whatever, I'm
That's the
ex-Hasidic, I'm
narrative. It's
atheist,
not
whatever
true.
the case is.
Because I
He started off claiming he was a real estate agent. Yeah, ich habe gesehen ein video, I'm not sure.
have knocked on those doors, actually.
And
Nobody helped.
yeah,
Ja,
well,
aber dann ist gegangen mit der Couple. Und geteen the advocacy. The problem is mit der advocacy is, als keiner will nicht heranlegen, nobody wants to help you, then tomorrow you're going to turn around and schreien auf der Welt, wo die aus dem geteen.
what did they say?
They gave me the middle finger, essentially. They didn't actually.
Where was that?
Oh, so wieso haben sie dir gegeben the middle finger? That's what I want to know.
Anyway, let me tell you another
Joseph,
point that I wanted to say earlier.
I don't buy it. I don't believe that a Jewish guy told you from
I
Monroe,
walked home
sleep on the
in my
street.
house. I could have tried to change. People ask me, oh, so why, if you love the Hasidic community, why didn't you like go to this other Jewish, by the way, most of the time they're like, oh, why didn't you go to Chabad? Why didn't you go to Israel? Why? In my opinion, all of these are the same amount of cult, more or less. Obviously not the
The same amount, more or less.
same, but it's still, especially why would I go to the same thing that I'm just coming from? I already know what it's all about.
By the way, Levi, Oiber is stupid. You can't pick and choose. You know, if you're stupid, you're stupid. You know, low IQ guy. What are you gonna do? There's no shop you can buy less stupid, more stupid.
It's a little bit
Okay.
different.
Yeah, it's like, okay. And for me, the adjustment to fit into a community like that, even a little less religious, will be almost as hard than starting life all over. So why would I struggle to figure out how to fit into some?
You don't need to figure out. You wisst wie zu schlafen, so you can slowly figure it out. Phew.
But by fit in, I don't mean like in a negative way where, you know, where people think you have to be
And by the way, in the outside world, darf man ook het eraan fitten. You also have to fit in, whatever that means in that world.
with the latest trend. I mean, like, assimilate and speak the language, make your friends, have your community, have your family, have a job. You know what I mean? Become stable and
Wat doen ze als je een hardhead doet?
comfortable in a community, especially like these unique communities. It takes years and decades and sometimes your whole life to just get a stable life in there, because first you're like immigrant status, not only politically speaking, meaning how people view you and sometimes treat you, and I'm talking about myself here, how I feel sometimes in America, but even like physically, like if you can't speak, read and write English, you don't have a GED, you don't have a high school
English
diploma.
is very good now.
Thank you. You know how hard I worked on it? And
Als hem gewoon niet gaat, nou, het hem gewoon geven als hij one-up, like, dan English again, die kan helpen na job.
and how much money I spent in the last 6 months. I don't know if people are going to see the difference. I spent thousands of dollars. I mentioned earlier.
What? And why was he homeless? He couldn't spend a little less thousands of dollars and then take out a one-bedroom apartment? Or a bed on Airbnb? What's he saying?
That I had a car accident where I had a spine injury. I was a passenger and somebody else was driving, and I got a few $1,000s of a settlement in the car accident. That guy unfortunately passed away, so I got a settlement, and I used all that money for my English to.
All right. Ich meine, ik dacht toen maar een bisschen financial advice. Coming from Viggy. Financial advice. Put away for your apartment, sir. Put away from your apartment.
Invest private tutoring to sit for hours.
I would say that the vast majority of people that left the community have never been homeless sheltered. Yeah, we do. We are higher standard, I say.
And I did wanted to mention.
Bring him on so we can give him a group hug. Penny. Yes, enough hugs. Enough definitely hugs. But it's the environment. It's the environment. Met hem aangelijk glag dorten. You know, met hem glag aangelijk by the Leibensgrieb, as they say. So, 29 minutes, maar weiß noch gut nicht von him. I'm just letting you guys know.
If you would put it there, that I do have a GoFundMe if people.
Maybe he needs a ketamine session like Ricky does. Sad. You guys are vicious and funny at the same time.
Want to help to support.
What do you want people to help you for?
Well, I want them because I pay a lot of money for tutors. If they want to provide, they can pay directly for the tutor. I have one specific that
Just
I
for
found.
your English?
Yeah, because the issue is most of the time also when you meet a tutor, they don't even know, because my education, which I never really had an education, but if you make now a test to see my level, it will be some things I will know college or even better than college level. Kids might know, but on the other hand, I might not know what first grade kids know. And the reason for that, it's hard to really identify, because I was here and there. I had a tiny bit of education in the Hasidic community. I went after that to a regular public school, and I went to a trade school, to a few different things.
And he's still homeless? Ich meine, als een guy door gaat zoveel zaken, I think you should start looking on yourself.
And I just lived life, had to figure stuff out. So I might have random knowledge, but I might not know the vowels in English. Until recently, I had to learn the vowels, which I just
Wait, hold on. This is the vowels were after thousands of dollars for English? Isn't that like the first thing you learn when the name start is? That's funny.
had to learn like that if you have the word CAP, it makes cap, and if you put an I, it makes I, and there's a long I, and if you add consonant, vowel, consonant, E, the vowel becomes long. It's basic information that I have to learn, and the issue is I've went to a few schools like that where like supposedly they teach you English and give you the GED. The issue is most of the time, most of the people in there are like straight from Mexico, and they don't even want to learn many times. They kind of forced to be there. Sometimes even a judge said if you're not there, you're going to jail or something. So and you don't really learn. That's one of the issues why the Hasidic people stay, because there's not really a designed way.
So very funny. He really thinks that he's the first one to ever leave. In jeder einer, was also wie früher it's the card, like oh, du hast noch Moide, du bist nicht echt. He really thinks that nobody ever left the community. He's like the first astronaut on the moon. That's what I feel like. That he feels like.
Like how immigrants from South America can become successful in America, where like all these apps and all these things are designed for them. All the translation is good in Spanish. The translation apps in Yiddish are not good.
Accurate.
Yeah, and by the way, my English, I don't know, a lot of times people tell me my English is good, but I just want to say... I think
your English is very good.
Thank you very much. When I first left, my name is Joseph Krauss. When I left, I did not know how to spell the name Joseph Krauss.
Joseph, you did some bad things when the English teacher was in class.
It has nothing to do with the English.
What do you mean? He didn't know how to spell his name? That's not true. I think that's a blatant lie. He should have said, I didn't know how to write a statement. I didn't write how to... His name? Or something is terribly wrong with your mind. But again, ich sehe es as a Wand.
English teacher. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Most of the kids my age didn't know how to spell their own name either. And guess what? Even today, as the average 10-year-old, he's not going to know how to spell his I challenge anybody.
So
walk into Kirjol, ask a kid, how do you spell your name? He's not going to know.
We don't disagree that the education of English needs to be better.
But it's not just education. It's everything. Keeping you away. You know, like they're not allowed to look on women. Yeah. How I'm talking to you right now, I'm making eye contact,
right.
Yes? The proper way how you speak to a person. By the way, even just that,
contact.
Social skills, even talking to a man, yes? But they're not allowed, when they talk to a woman, they have to look away like this.
Yeah, but why would it be his issue? He's not a woman.
And the first time I started talking to women, it felt very awkward. My
Yeah. Okay. So you felt very awkward and...
eyes were like,
going
you know
away.
what I mean? And like, I didn't know what to say. And forget about dating. I'm just talking about like when you interact with a cashier.
Joseph, so what's
anything.
the problem to leave if you feel, and I agree with you a lot, by the way, certain things that the education is not good, and you feel that the way that they teaching you not to look in a girl in her eyes.
It's one of a million things.
One second. So I agree with you that it's not my way of living too. But what's the problem? Just to move on. Just don't listen to what they told you because you feel it doesn't work for you, and continue moving. What is those videos? What is this? I feel like your goal in life is to shit talk like Satmar and all Hasidic people in the world instead of focusing and building your own new future, having a business. I don't know what you do. I wanted to get to this. Like, what do you do for a living? What do you work? So...
What does he work? He doesn't.
I feel that you're focusing a lot. And tell me if I make a mistake or I might be right. Don't you feel sometimes that your focus in your life is on the wrong spot? Because you see, you're not moving. In terms of you telling me financially, you still have a lot of issues.
I moved a little bit. At the moment right now, today, I went a little bit backwards. But generally speaking, I'm obviously way ahead. I mean, it's also, by the way, even with my English, I tell my teacher this all the time. I improved a lot. I think way more than I think, specifically with writing. Until now, I used speech to text. By the way, always people don't bother to do 5 seconds of research. They're like, oh, so you say English is not good. How did you write all the titles for your video? Because I have a lot of YouTube videos. There's a technology called speech to text, and he's stupid.
Whatever.
Yeah, back in the day.
So he really thinks, als keine advice is saying speech to text.
wasn't Chat. Even ChatGPT is stupid. I'm just using speech to text. I talk. I can even say how the Hasidic community is a cult.
He couldn't come up with anything else as a title.
Period. You know what I mean? Or like how the comma is. It puts even the punctuation. And you can see old videos. It's not.
Why,
It's not
why did he come with pajamas? Because he thinks he's gonna put everybody to sleep.
They say, here's what you said. You have to retire.
But what do you answer my question? Don't you think you focus a little bit on the wrong spot?
Could be. I think about that sometimes. That's why you can see sometimes there's a big gap in my posting. I don't post anything because I feel
Trying
like
to
I'm getting
focus.
distracted.
Exactly. And then when it hits him in the face that he can't do anything and he doesn't make money, the anger gets up, the disappointment gets up, and then when all that comes together and nicht kennen and nicht wissen in der draußen Welt comes up, kommt raus a fruit salad. And also kicked aus the fruit salad.
But how much of a distraction? Then I see other people like you pop out of nowhere, and I'm like, it
Hershey G.
looks like you're making money.
He's homeless, so he's always ready to go to sleep, Hershey G. Like the malaf in homeless, by the way, is as whenever you wake up, you're home.
Maybe not, maybe. And I'm like, shit, I have already more subscribers when you started and everything, and I never even made any professional videos. And my goal is not always to make videos about the Hasidic community. Maybe one day I want to make some other I mean, you can see, like recently I tried, by the way, I tried to make, for example, like real estate, because you ask what I do for a living. I was a real estate agent. I still am.
So wieso take past the ganze Sache? Wieso take past the test, sie werden a real estate agent? I meinte keine English. Fruit salad, progressive flag.
In Manhattan, where, and by the way, if anybody has anything, reach out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean,
Well,
we're just,
see like this. Hakt of the community, but will at the community jetzt soll rausreachen zu ihm zu geben real estate. Von wo soll sein hin? Why would you put your hand in the shark's mouth?
yeah, I wish we had the Nachi's view today and the
In the background.
Yeah.
The balcony? Okay.
The balcony, it's amazing.
Take a picture
the
after.
Manhattan, I took already photos. So what's it called? You have a penthouse going on over here.
Listen,
So-
that's where we'd like to do the podcast.
Yeah.
In the summer, we'll probably do the podcast outside.
Yeah.
But go ahead, let's continue.
So what I was saying is, I posted a few videos, a lot of videos of real estate, and I only got like 100 views, where I like
He's giving away his how you doing. Real estate macht 100 views, es lohnt sich nicht. Saying something about the community gets him views. So, ring, ring, ring. He's doing it for the views. He's doing it for the views.
explain what a deed is with my broken English, and what a title
This is boring as said. Yes, this is kind of boring as said. I'm with you on that one, Joseph.
restriction is and all that, like real estate terms, or like just
And
to
it
advertise,
doesn't
make
go
videos
anywhere?
of apartment. 50 views. And when I make a video saying me eating pork in Yom Kippur, and I explain that Jews are not allowed to eat
Macht a video wegen pork in Yom Kippur. And funny enough, no Eden watching us. So everybody knows what he's talking about. So you can go always watch them.
Yom Kippur. They're not allowed to eat pork, and they're not allowed to eat milk and meat together. They have to wait 6 hours. There are so many
They.
rules, and yes.
No.
I make a video. It gets a lot of views from all sides. It's educational for people who know nothing about Jews.
There's not a single guy outside of the community that wants to look into the community is looking for your videos, Joseph.
Or Hasidic Jews, or for Hasidic Jews to watch it, and like it's like.
By the way,
for
I
them,
don't
it's
have-
like I'm doing the biggest crime in the world.
So I think that you might look at me a little bit like a little bit aggressive towards you. I don't have a problem that you do whatever you want.
He calmed down already. He calmed down. So jetzt geht defenden the uproar, was gewesen.
FYI, I have zero issue, but my issue is what, like I said earlier, I don't understand why don't you just do whatever you want like I do. I live my life, and I'm telling you, I'm living to the fullest, and I'm having a good time in my life. And I feel that if I would be focusing on negativity and looking on the past, what is
This is wel dein bank account is full. At least that's the picture you give. Ich weiß, ich habe nicht gesehen dein bank account. So I'm sure if you take away the money, you would sound differently.
Okay, so you grew up in a way you don't like. You're moving on. You continue. You can do blogging, but you can do vlogs about I grew up Hasidic and now I'm not Hasidic. But you don't need to be, in my opinion, again, to be hating on something that
I'm not
works
hating,
for
really,
tens of
yeah.
thousands
You are
of
hating.
people. And I think it's just going to make you grow and any way you want when your focus is going to be just on building yourself and less knocking down the Hasidic cult that you're saying it is. And I feel that, to be honest, before you came to the podcast, my head was like, you know, one thing I think if you would have somehow get to Israel by the 17, you would become an unreligious person. You would live in Tel Aviv, have a good life, sit by the beach. Everybody's not religious. They're chilling, clubs, partying. I think that you wouldn't even be upset. I think you stayed somehow in New York, stuck in the same area, and you didn't. You could have. You still can choose.
I could have.
not to
I should have.
hate.
You might be right, by the way.
Er 22, ich meine, kann auch rein jetzt.
But you know what? By the age and time I was, in the ideas I had in my head, it was too late, in my opinion, back then. To now,
Back then, 4 months ago.
because my family specifically, not that I come from an abusive family, just the ideas, that the values they had, and the community. My family, by the way, had less values than, meaning as far as how much to restrict the kids, than the other families in my, where I am. Because Williamsburg and Kirzor
So es ist nicht so gefährlich. It's not so bad, he says.
are a big difference, and definitely Borough Park, you know what I mean?
Right.
They're all different, and specifically in those different neighborhoods, you can find way different families versus a not so religious Monroe family will just be that they eat pizza on Sunday,
Not so religious. Oh, shit.
and a not so religious Borough Park family would be that they maybe eat pork. I don't know what. So
Whew, call me stupid. In Monroe, non-religious esst pizza. In Borough Park, esst man pork. Come on, make it into a t-shirt.
Let's talk a little bit about your family. We didn't get
Yeah.
there yet, and I want to start. How is your relationship with your parents
Wow. Das finde wie Kimste, wie Geiste, bis gewesen in Tosh.
and siblings?
So after I left the Hasidic community, I had to escape.
Guys, we're one step ahead. It's the first time you said Hasidic community. I'm proud of you.
No, I'm gonna stop using the word cult just
I'm
because
proud of you already.
Oh, it's hot me 39 minutes in.
I recently but I said it already a few times already in this podcast.
Okay.
I just stopped
Maybe
saying
I
because
didn't realize.
He stopped saying it. He fooled me. He fooled all of us.
back in before this, I used to say just community.
Hij dacht hij giet hog met hij giet in Prague, Brooklyn. as they say.
That's why I refer to it as community. That's just its name is with capital H, capital C, Hasidic community. That's how people refer to it.
Right.
But I like to call it the Hasidic cult, just like
We were 2 seconds away from not calling it a cult, and whoops, we're back to cult.
you can call a left tour the cult. If you call it left tour, you don't say left tour cults
That was a funny line, but that was my inside t-shirt.
with the, you know what I mean, in one
Okay,
statement.
go
all the
ahead.
time.
Let's
Just out of-
continue.
Out
Let's-
of respect, out of
Back to-
But again, it's a hostile environment dort in Nachi. That's the problem. Seine fences sind ein Arof.
Family.
Yeah. So my family, I had to escape, as I said, because just to give you an example, like a year or two before I left, I came home with a flip phone
Ooh.
What age?
that had, I must have been like 16 or something. I came home with a flip phone that had maybe didn't have a filter, as they call it, which a filter is just a fancy way to say how North Korea put software on
Jeder eine weiß, was meint der Filter.
your
That's so
devices so you
stupid.
can't get outside information. Okay, so
yeah.
that's what I didn't have. And my father got so, first of all, the community would have kicked me out, but my father and mother were like so crazy that like it went to a point where there was blood running
What?
but while they're trying to chase me and take it away from me.
The phone.
And this is like at 16, 17 years old, yes. It's just a flip phone where you can make phone calls and maybe have a browser. That's
What do you mean? So was das der Filter damals?
about it.
Ich bin heimgekommen mit Sneakers. Ich hatte kein Filter. So we were running.
And that was like the biggest crime of humanity. I didn't change my clothes, which would have been way worse. They would have like probably kicked me out immediately. This just shows you what like kind of, and it's not my family. This is one of the issues
It's not his family. But then you time it's his family.
issues, by the way, that people always
I
try
heard
to.
that you were talking against your, I don't know if it's true,
Yeah.
against your parents, and then
No, I mean, I have no problem to say what my parents. The people. One of the things is people, specifically Hasidic people, they are so.
overprotective.
No. I don't have the right word for this, but they're so. In Yiddish, would say rishis. They're so.
Rishis,
How do you say it in
They're gonna
English?
translate it. Go ahead.
Okay, they're so like mean people, but like so rude that their own people, which my father and mother are still in that community, they bash them. They say everything. Oh, it was your family. No, it had nothing to do with my family. My family didn't do anything. I actually had one of the better families in the community.
Wenn ich gewinn ein Video over, ich habe gesehen, wie sucht ein Gerät auf seine Tata Mama.
Okay, it had nothing to do with my family. My family was pretty good. My father and mother had her issues and their issues, and together was a problem. And who put them together? They were like opposite. You know, I don't think it was a good marriage. Who put them together? The rabbis. The rabbis told them to get married, and when they tried to get divorced, the rabbis told them you can't. You know, you should stay together. So they kept putting them to. So it's once again the Hasidic community. But when I leave
Hasidic community.
and I start saying all the bad things the Hasidic community does, and how I suffer from it, then they say, "Oh, it's your parents," or "Oh, you're a victim. I understand you went to abuse." I don't know. People make up stories about me. You know, they try to say, "Oh, it's like dismissive." Basically, you say something like, "Oh, you're abused. Oh, you had a bad family. Oh, you had a bad father." They say things that, first of all, many things
Did
are
you
not
have
true.
any things that people are saying?
Nothing like how they, you know what I mean, and not everything
And how would somebody know besides for what they shared?
I have to like bring up on the table right now because some things are personal, you know.
Right.
But what I'm talking, the way how I have the passion has nothing to do with family or other things where people try to dismiss it.
Brooklyn, yeah, I picked that up also. Koiden sucht dass es ja geht, nicht gewinn der Family, der Tata Mama sind noch gelaufen. I don't know.
I didn't leave with that in mind. I left in mind. It might sound stupid. One of my first videos, there was a big Jewish singer that I think his name was Yolivas. He reacted to it where I said, I just want to have a normal life. I want to have a wife
Oh, that's what?
with children, not Jewish, a nice house, make a
Not Jewish.
lot of money, and that's it. And he like made a reaction video. He was like, that's it. That's why you have to become non-Jewish. You have to have the same thing in the Hasidic community. He's kind of right. But you still have to live the Hasidic life. You have to send your kids to the certain school. You have to still practice all the rules. When you get married, it gets a little easier in a way because you kind of have more freedom because you don't have, you know what I mean, family and teachers and principals tell you what to do.
Do you feel sometimes that you miss something about the community?
Almost nothing. No, I wouldn't say I miss
One
anything.
thing that you miss about the community?
I like to say food. Just as an
still
answer,
eat it.
I can think. Right, but honestly, by the way, most of their food tastes like shit. Like you really need to be able to cook it good to be good.
Filter
Like,
fish?
again, it could be really bad, taste like shit. It's funny how sometimes people are like, hey, yeah, filter fish. I know you like it. I'm like, I know this specific brand, whatever it is.
Was haben wir gesucht? Menschen sagen, oh, willst du ein Stückchen gefüllte Fisch? That what gets his Wand up. That's what happens. People.
Disgusting. Like, but there's certain ways it could be
Food.
good.
Let's leave it on
I was gonna
food.
say that. Yeah, I mean, I can think of something else.
Over these last few years that you're trying to fight the community, whatever you're doing, do you try to go to therapy, professional therapy, to get help and maybe understand yourself? Or everything you're doing is from your own?
I would like to be open-minded, you know.
Oh, I like that he likes that.
So therefore, I have tried to reach out before for help to get therapists. There's an organization called Footsteps that is supposed to help people that left the Hasidic community, which, by the way, I have like this secret conspiracy. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying that. They might even shun me from that organization as well. But basically, when I reach out to them saying, hey, can I get a therapist? They're like, yeah, actually, we don't have any available. And that's like the number one organization. It's like a cult survivor organization supposed to help the survivors. And they don't have therapists available.
You tried multiple times?
I tried, yeah.
So you want to tell me the last few years you didn't have it?
What say? They do for free therapist. They do free therapist. I don't know what he's talking about.
And maybe one time I went to a therapist, you know, like as I was enrolling in school or something. I didn't even know it was a therapist. They're like, oh, you have to speak to this African-American woman for like an hour.
African-American woman. I think, was that the criteria? DEI hired?
On a Zoom call. And she was like very like attitude-y and like
Attitude.
typing and like asking me a bunch of questions. And then at the end of it, she'd ask, have you ever felt like you have supernatural powers? Have you ever thought about killing yourself?
That
Have you
doesn't
ever
sound to me like
you know what I mean? But that's how it kind of sounded to me. I felt like mandatory. I didn't even know. I don't think they even told me like this is a
Might again a psychic evaluation. And I think he passed with flying colors.
therapist. I think it was even like an evaluation or something.
the answer is
And
no.
Wait, by the end of it, she
Joseph,
said,
in one word.
wait, by the end of it, she said, I diagnose you with mild depression. I was like, okay, you don't know me. She didn't even ask any real, like, she didn't talk.
How would you know? How would you know? Is the real questions.
Oi, it is a victim.
how we talk now. She had like a
Right.
questionnaire.
This
Almost
is
like
more
how
a
you just started-
therapeutic conversation
how you
that you had
started
with her.
writing now, reading questions out of a laptop, the same thing, like a list of questions, like ChatGPT. Now I diagnose you.
Oh, jetzt weißt du die auf in ChatGPT?
Oi, it is a victim.
So first, okay, so you diagnosed me with mild depression. What does that mean? That I'm depressed today? Like, how can I fix that? Whatever. Yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll go to therapy. The thing is, I have much more important
One day. It should be like yesterday.
Oi, it is a victim.
issues like survival right now than thinking about spending $50,000 on therapy.
Whoa, ze doen for free therapist. Joseph, there is for free therapist.
Oi, it is a victim.
And if anybody wants to sponsor a therapist, I'll go to a non-Jewish
feel-
therapist. Just
So we zijn a non-Jewish therapist.
Oi,
It is a victim.
I feel in
practice
this,
my English a little bit with them.
So guess what? I want to tell you something. I feel that this podcast has great people watching, and if you want it and you're saying that you want it, I'm sure you're gonna have people who are gonna
But
be
it's
like,
going to be the issue with these therapies. And
Oh,
no,
maar je getroffen mijn therapist. Maar je getroffen mijn issue met therapy.
Oi, it is a victim.
so you
not-
ask,
not
in the
consider shit-
community, I went
no.
to plenty of therapists that were not
Natuurlijk.
therapists at all. Maybe they weren't licensed.
Keine... Maar nicht gefragt, was ganz in der Community. Du bist schon raus von der Community, Joseph. Er ist schon raus.
They were like classified as a therapist in that community. They're just people who are, when they see you want to leave, they see you don't want to adhere to the dictator's rules, they make you believe that you're
Dictator rules.
Oi, it is a victim.
crazy. They gaslight you and they send you to a therapist to like try to remanipulate
Okay, but now
you,
you're already out of the
re-brainwash
community,
you.
and all you want is a.
Even
is-
those, the people who watch your show, probably majority are on one level or
doesn't
another.
Der ist weiter. Er nützt die Karte a ganze Zeit. In ob Rauf in der, was watchen das, is in the community, red Yiddish.
Jewish.
This is
Or
going to
like
be
they
able
have their
to.
agendas.
So this is going to be
Yeah.
exactly proof to you that I'm right in this specific point. That if you're seeking for help for therapy, and you're asking for it, you're going to have a lot of people reaching out to you. If you need therapist,
if it's a good option and I have
asking
time,
you.
I will take
It's
it.
your stage and it's your decision if you want to say it, if you need it, if
Yeah,
you feel
no,
it.
I just said it.
Yes?
Yes.
You're seeking for
I'll-
therapy. Very good. No, I don't see it in a bad way. I think everybody, I also need a therapist.
Many
It's fine.
things
Jetzt gaan, waar vindt de boss? Ik daarvoor geen therapie.
in the
Nothing
community,
wrong.
it's a stigma. You
No,
can't,
I
talk
don't think-
about it.
buddy.
No, that's what I'm saying. I have no problem saying it, but all the people, but I get a lot of hate comments. They're all gonna say, "Oh, look, he's crazy. He needs to go to therapy."
Yes, yes. And by the way, not only crazy people have to go to therapy.
Yeah, like
He's a good
whatever.
acidic kid.
Say,
Whoever
yeah,
wants
I'm
to help
not
him out,
Hasidic.
just like with you. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. All right, let's continue. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about. You spoke earlier about the homeless shelters. What was the story in Texas? I heard something that you ran away.
Yeah.
What happened?
So I mean, after I left the city community, I went to like a local shelter. Not,
The majority was going to associate zijn Hasidim. But when I left the Hasidic community. Sorry, Zach. Thank you, Zach. Woo! Thank you, Zach. I appreciate you.
too far. I mean, like, you know, not in the community. Like the cult is surrounded with the fence. So I went like out of the fence, like a few miles.
That's
I
a
felt
different
like I
question.
already
What
escaped.
fence are you?
Ze is een normale mens, ben ik zoek normaal. Somebody that reads between the lines, wat verstaan aan de niet physical gate, aan mental gate.
Talking about this is the IDF.
Thank you,
there's a
Zach.
fence, yeah.
You're talking about the IDF,
Yeah.
and this is fear.
So
This is fear. What
yeah.
you're just saying that the
So-
community is surrounded with a
It
gate.
is. You know why? Because the
It's not a
psychological.
gate.
Oh, so zoek ze dat psychological gate then.
It is a gate.
Your head is
and a psychological gate is bigger than a
Joseph,
real gate.
I have no problem with everything.
Okay, full disclaimer: it's not a gate to prevent people from jumping out, but it's surrounded with forests.
It's not a gate.
The way,
Surrounded with forests. The einzigste community was surrounded with forests.
It is a victim.
it's developed, like the buildings, is that
That's
you're
my
not
problem.
near
See,
any
that's
outside.
that's what bothers me with
I've
you.
never
When you're
went-
posting stuff like
even
that,
a Walmart-
and you're saying that they have a gate like a real cult, and people think, wow, Curious Joel has a gate, or I don't know what. They don't
Most
have no
real cults
gate.
don't have a
They
gate,
have
by
an
the way.
IDF. Explain what an IDF means. An IDF means that for religious people who want to carry Shabbos something in their
Which is
pocket.
another rule. They can't carry
fine.
anything on
You can
Saturdays.
do whatever.
Okay, but du bist doch schon weg von der community. Ze badet dich in Texas, als einer in New York kann nicht drogen.
And we're talking about them. If they want to
it's
carry
not
it
like, oh, it's a light thing. Yeah, by the way, you
Joseph,
can, I have like
Joseph,
a
I'm just
wallet, I have
explaining
a phone,
a
I have a
second.
charger.
Ja, aber du bist schon nicht dort. Die sorgst dich für andere.
phone. No, Saturday you
second.
can't carry anything.
In andere countries harget man.
Fine. That's
It's an
that- you can do-
abusive cult. They
for
control
you.
every second of
For
your life.
let me explain, people, because you said it
Yeah.
online and we have to fix this, and I think
Okay.
you should fix
Fix
it.
it.
You should fix it. You said
just
something
said.
very bad, which makes
Bad.
look it makes look people very very bad. When you're saying there's a gate around the whole community, you can't leave, you can't go. This is fake. You said something. You lied.
There
you said
is a religious gate.
There is a religious gate.
I don't know how else to describe it.
It's not a gate.
Where there's a roadway, it's a string.
It's a string.
rope.
Oh, shit. Ay. It is a victim.
On top, and then
Okay,
it continues to go.
explain then what it is for. You want me to
Actually,
explain?
gate is a
I'll do
Yiddish
it.
word.
You
It's
want
called
me
a
to-
fence in
a fence,
English.
fine.
Yes?
You want me to explain what it is?
It's not
Sure.
it's not considered a gate. No.
Okay, guys, the gate that he was posting and thing it's called, whatever you call it, whatever sentence that makes look very bad and it's not fair. I think even though I'm not keeping, all this stuff,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say that they have a gate. It's a item. You have to
You know
watch what
why
you're
I say
saying,
it?
because it's not
Because
fair.
really there's things that are way worse, specifically even with that things that I'm referring to a gate. There's a psychological gate. If somebody walked
So go to a
outside,
therapist.
if I would have went
It's not a
at
gate.
15
It's
years
an
old,
item. You have to
if
go
I
to a
would've-
therapist,
if
my
I
friend.
would've-
This is not
no,
fair.
If I would have went at 15 years old out, I would have went to the Walmart that is 2 miles away. There's no Walmart or any place where you can go outside, like a attraction or whatever. Outside, it's all a little far away. It's kind of an isolated place that happens to be surrounded by a fence. Okay,
Zijn is ook offense. Kijk wat hij schmeichel doet, because he knows he's wrong.
far away. It's kind of an isolated
Because
place that
I'm all-
happens to be surrounded by a fence. Okay, so
You saw the smile?
the same thing is with if I would have went out, I would have beaten, blood would have poured from me just
It is a victim.
because I maybe went to Walmart to buy a pack of strawberries, which by the way, you're not allowed to eat strawberries either. Everything is controlled.
Whoa. Wow, just imagine the therapist. 2 days later, you hear a therapist killed herself.
You're not allowed to walk out.
So why-
You're not allowed to have a bike in there. You know why you're not allowed to have a bike? You're only allowed to have, while you're a kid until a certain age, you're only allowed to have a bike that is very inefficient, like they call it a three-wheeler. You can't really go far. You can only stay on your block and make a little. The reason is so they
Well, a scooter kan me niet voor. Although ik ben... I'm not for it, but... Ay, ay, ay. Wow.
keep you, like even if you decide that you're gonna violate the rules and ride out, it's gonna be impossible because it's not a car, it's not a bike. It's
I'm
it's
happy that
nothing.
now you're able to drive a bike and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm serious now.
He's happy they can drive a bike
It's not
now.
for you. That's very understandable. Nobody, I think nobody has an issue that you left and you feel it's not for you. We're gonna continue because I can go and go and go on
Yeah,
the same
let's not
subject
go in
every second.
circles,
Exactly.
yeah.
I just want to go continuing. Yeah. So another topic that I saw that you spoke on your YouTube channel. You spoke about giving education how to jerk off.
Oh,
No, for real. What is the situation? Why would you tell people how to jerk off? What is it? Are you a porn star? Like, what are you up to?
My goal is up to Shmat and Klal Yisrael.
Why?
why is he saying that in Yiddish?
Means to make all the Jews,
Religious,
specifically
not Jews.
Hasidic
Religious?
Jew from Monroe, New York, to make them no longer so crazy religious, so extreme.
So halt als me weet Oost-Goeset is man ugeschmat? Wow. Jambalaya. I'll take 2 jambalayas to go.
Just like how when you take a
Why is this
when
your
take
goal?
a
You don't have
kid-
something-
Wait a minute. When you take a kid from left door and you show him the outside world, like there's a guy Mendy Levy. As soon as he saw it, he like left. Not only left door, he left all religion altogether because he saw that it's all fake. That he doesn't want to live that life, right? So the same thing. So if I show for people, hey, look, I can eat bacon on a certain day of the
But
year.
what are you going to show people, Joseph?
It doesn't sound
you're
as
22 years
exciting.
old. One second.
Because the real issue
your
with-
life is now
yeah.
better than 4 years ago? I don't think so.
4 years ago, yeah.
Based on your stories, your life is not so good. What are you going to try to show? People say, where? Your life now is better? I'm asking you questions. Is your life now better than 5-10 years ago? What do you feel
It
life
has
is better?
no
Where?
potential. It feels like it could.
So it's not time now to schmat anybody until you show success. Maybe first get on the right route. I'm telling it to you in your face. Maybe before you start thinking about schmatting people,
Yeah.
and I think by the time you're going to be successful, you're going to look at yourself and be like, oh, I was young and
But
stupid.
it's such a joke when I say that.
I know, but-
people overthink my videos. I don't
You have
think.
to be
I
careful
just
because you say...
Zij is dus deze ook dat grootste tel. People overtake his videos, yes. And it's the stam for shock content.
You just said it, I want to schmat.
I just want to say, you contact me today. You're like, hey, Joseph, you want to come on my podcast? 2 hours later, I was
You're here.
all the way upset. I'm here. Like, I didn't prepare for this. I should have
too.
like made a few points. Like, I knew you were gonna ask me why it's a cult. I mean, not because you told me. I kind of know you, so I assumed that's what you're gonna ask. So I could have like made some PowerPoints or whatever. Because there's
So van was het dan on PowerPoints? On the way there, while he was riding his bike, he could have made PowerPoints.
other people they're very good at speaking.
But you can't
to,
say
like,
a comment, I want to
explain
schmat
so
on
well
I'm putting you on the
why
spot.
it's
You
a
got me.
cult and why
I
it's a
didn't
cult.
mean it. If you don't want to smack down Kraus, so chill down and say, I just...
No, I mean it, but I'm not like, this is my goal. I wake up and I'm like super serious.
But it looks like that's your
It's a
goal,
little bit
because
of a
you're not-
joke statement, but it's a little bit serious. Like, if I could press a button, I would do it. But it's like,
Why?
It's not like I have an
What
organization I'm
bothers
going to
you?
spend my life. It bothers me.
I'm
I
not-
would have want somebody to say me.
Verstaan is, als had aber a button, als kan schon beten a button, he should ask for a button that his life would be great. Wat niemand de chance gebeten, sie schmarrn jedem, das ist so ein Button.
From that cult, nobody did. So I might as well save everybody.
So maybe
I can
maybe
try,
put up
especially that
status
I-
that whoever's
let-
looking to seek help out of the... No,
I
for
did.
real.
I charged $100 an hour.
Okay, you should come back to
Consultation.
money.
Wo ist der Consultation? Als was? Als Tessen Bacon of Yom Kippur?
That was a joke, by the way,
it's
because so
okay.
many people reach out to me. Joseph, please, I don't know how many of them are just trolls. They're like, can you please help me? I want to escape the cult. And
I would assume to against. Als 99% of the mensen was verregender zijn een how you doing?
I'm like, many times they're trolls. Or many,
Stockholm syndrome with bipolar? Ooh, the bipolar, the Stockholm syndrome I could hear.
times they're so scared to like really talk, or even for me to just find out if they're real, that I'm just wasting my time. Like, what do you want me to tell you? You want me to convince? I know I used to have the same thing. I would have died to talk to you or somebody before I left. I had so many
You want to hear
questions.
something? If you would have talked to me, I would have got you one second.
I didn't have your phone number. I wasn't allowed.
But I promise you,
Yeah.
this conversation would go different because you wouldn't be hating. I feel the only problem I have with you. I think you're generally a good guy. You sound like like we spoke a little bit before. You're a very nice person. I don't think you're a
Thank
bad
you.
person. No, for real. I don't think you're a bad person. I think you just have it all wrong, and you're coming with a lot of past trauma, whatever it is, and a lot of hate. And you could have focused like more like me. I'm not saying that I'm the example. There's people much more successful than me, much better than me, and much smarter than me as well. But I think if you would seek out
Wait, what was that? Way smarter than him? What a humble statement. No.
to me, for example, and people are also reaching out to me. I wouldn't be telling you that they are cult leaders. I would tell you, do whatever if you feel that's right to do. Don't worry. The opposite. Keep them on your side. Why not? What does it bother you? They're not gonna bite you.
But you don't
One
understand.
second.
In my
One second.
situation,
I feel
it
that
would have
if
been
you can
just
do
as
it
hard as
peacefully-
leaving completely than
Let him play PUBG.
trying to, because it wasn't going to work. I couldn't just start wearing the clothes I want and start doing what I want overnight. I had to make a huge shift. You know, I'm going to tell you an example that I didn't want to say that, but I recently like visited my parents for the first time, and they kind of accepted me, you know, after I left. But I was so surprised,
was
you know.
it?
I don't want to go into a lot of details, but they didn't really accept me. My mother is very religious and like she's abusive with the religion, my mother. But the point is that would have not happened if they saw that I left out of nowhere. I didn't say goodbye, nothing. I disappeared. They called the police. They thought I got kidnapped, right? When I was still like a minor, I was still pretty young. And like they went to this emotional state where they're like, first they thought I was lost, then they found out that I'm alive. And then they thought that that I'm still Jewish, but somewhere in Israel or something. And then they found out, no, I'm not Jewish. And then after all that, I started doing all the YouTube, and then it got worse and worse with like the gay and all that.
I want to talk to you about it. Can we start it?
so-
Because you don't want to talk about your family much.
So wait, so it took them the 5 years just to realize that I'm never going to change myself, so they can either accept me or not.
And they're accepting you.
And not really, but you know what I mean? Way more than, like I said, before, if I would have walked in with sneakers and not the shoes, it would have been moisimas, which means I would have been killed, literally.
En de masber para Hasidische crowd was mooi Simos meint.
But it would kill
So,
you. Relax,
yeah,
bro.
I would have
They
been
would be
beaten
upset.
up
Could be. Which is not right.
by the principal in school
Could be.
with a metal chain.
But it's so confusing. Wenn läuft und geht mit der Saschir, geht nicht zurück in Heider.
For
be, for
little
stupidity, for
things.
stupidity.
For little
I agree
things.
that
If I had an MP3 player, you know what that is? A tiny device with no internet,
Jeder weiß, was ein MP3-Player ist.
nothing, where you can listen to some Jewish music, it would have been the end of the world to them. Not my family, just the community.
Hat er nicht sucht das an Tata Mama? Jij zoekt das nicht an Tata Mama?
And if it doesn't matter who, usually it's a male figure that takes care of the misbehavior. But like, for example, my family, my father was always the big, you know, muscular guy, and I was the little kid. And so I was like physically stronger than me, so it can force me to do stuff. And my mother was the very religious, like very frum and I think maybe fanatic. I don't know the right words. Like very extreme with religion. And my father even wouldn't necessarily want to do all of this stuff, but she would force her view on them and then use my father as the, you know, as an enforcer, as the police. It's like when a dictator is like, oh, what am I going to do? The police said. It has nothing to do with me. The police did it. You know, it's the same.
A dictator zoekt dat de police did it, nothing to do with him.
Thing what the Hasidic community is doing. They're like, this has nothing to do with it. It's your family. No, my family and my unique experiences, like everybody has their own experiences in life, was not unique. It was the community was designed like that, just like how
But it's confusing. Einmal zoekt dat seine ja geht, einmal zoekt dat seine nicht geht. So confused.
if a kid is born here in Manhattan in a specific neighborhood, he's gonna have a general experience like the rest of that. Like somebody was born in Harlem and somebody was born in Upper West Side. You know what I mean? It's like it's different and it is kind of predictable. You know, and it's not like, oh no, just happened to happen to you. I believe that my story is not unique, and if anything, some people have way more unique stories, meaning what they went through and the pain that they had and that they continue to have. The only thing is that I spoke up and I just happen to go viral and I have a lot of followers now, so I have a bigger platform. And I don't do this as a full-time thing, and definitely not now that I'm not really making any money off of it. So I'm just doing it as advocacy and as a hobby or whatever. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't think a lot about it. I mean, just whatever happens, happens. I can always change the channel to start making DIY videos.
Screaming.
A lot of times, I think I want to. By the way, like make a video. Let's say I always struggle so much because we didn't have any technology, so I need to figure out something. How do you delete the photos? Like the first time I had a phone, my storage got full, right? And then I delete the photos. I figure out how to do that, but the storage is still full. So basically, you got to delete the stuff in your trash file after that. Simple things like that, where like it took me so long and finally find the right YouTube video. And like, bam! And I remember it now. I might even forget it like in 5 years from now when it's going to be relevant again, the same issue or like similar things. Now
Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs.
I would love to make videos like that. Had a good camera and made a quick video. It takes a minute and it doesn't have to be professional. Just say, hey guys, by the way, and you put a good thumbnail and like a title, how to delete your iPhone 13, whatever. If you
Could be nice.
But the thing is, I can't just start uploading thousands of videos like that on a YouTube channel that talks about my life. I might have to start a different channel.
Slowly. No, I think.
But maybe I want to do that. But really, I don't. Right now, the thing is, social media is so fake. I see a lot of people that act like they make a lot of money. I don't know how true it is.
Full of it.
Are
TikTok
they
is
making money?
flooded.
No, I see all these people.
It's like probably 90% are not.
Are not.
Yeah, 90%.
No, but I'm talking the ones
Sadly.
that they start off like.
Sally, you don't know how to delete your deleted files.
Oi, it is a victim.
Like a struggle, like me, the videos are not edited. I'm openly saying that I'm broke and everything.
No, so you have
but
to
all of
make
a
money,
sudden,
they
when they
like
start
to
having a lot of followers and sponsors and Sachen and things, they all of a sudden they start talking or acting like they're rich. I don't know how true it is.
This
And
is not your focus, and our focus is to make our own money, not to look at them.
right, but which is another thing. After I left, my whole reality before I left, the homeless guy at the subway wearing a hoodie and sweatpants looked the same to me than the millionaire on Wall Street with the suit and tie. They both looked like
Why?
a goy, which was to us a bad thing.
But you
a
didn't see one
non-Jew.
successful, one is not successful.
Even a Jew from Israel and a Jew that doesn't have the long curls to the floor, but he has a yarmulke and he has a suit and tie, was also the same animal. And by us, there's a word
Why would you
foy.
say
Yeah,
animal?
he's the same. That's what they consider. They say, what does Amnachri mean or whatever? Like, they compare the non-Hasidic Jews from their specific cult. They consider them equal to an animal. That's what
I don't know which
teach
teachers
us.
you had.
Meaning, when I now speak to people, sometimes I even have to train myself not to be so arrogant while talking to them because
I feel very bad
have to reprogram my mind that I'm not superior than everybody. That's how they always talk. They talk
Wow,
like,
it have major therapy. I'm sorry, Joseph, but it has major therapy. Whew. Man, you have therapy glach nog them
they're the superior one, like they're better than everybody and smarter than everybody. And in life, in real life, it doesn't go far like this way, you know? So everything in life, I have to change. I have to readjust. I have to learn. So people just ask, why don't you just move on? I can't just move on. It doesn't just move on overnight. I'm building a life. The only thing is sometimes I'm thinking that this is a distraction or like
Big one.
Is it like
a lot.
because it takes me like a few hours to make a video?
Hours
It's
of
that's it?
nothing doing. Mean to say,
No, but a
it's
lot
not
of
that you
times
have
also,
now-
by the way, most of the times when my life is like this, it's not like I have something to do. It's more a lot of times sitting duck. Like right now I'm unemployed, just lost my job. And so it's like, I'm looking for a job. I can go probably pretty easy find a job at McDonald's, but there's no
if a
point.
Hasidic guy is offering you now a job, a good job, $1,800 a week.
We'll take it.
Yeah?
It depends what it is. If it has nothing to do with Judaism, I don't have to change who I am. for
Yeah,
the
you can
job,
stay like that.
And I don't have to work around. Because one of the things is people
You
always say,
can't pick
oh,
and
you
choose
speak Yiddish.
everything.
Why don't
No.
you speak
But I'm
Yiddish?
asking you, there's a job now from Monroe, I don't know what, but I can't give you an example.
Yeah.
100 kind of
Reach out to
work.
me. I'll take it.
Yeah?
It depends on the details about it, but I'm way more open now. Before, I would only
Ich fühle wie guy darf gesungen, will arbeiten Shabbos noch Mittag.
Rather go to
even when I
McDonald's,
couldn't,
right?
no, well, for 1,800 versus 500 versus $300 a week, I would take the 18. But it depends what I need to do for the 1,800. You understand what I'm
You
saying?
need to work hard.
No, not just the work. First of all, am I qualified? You know what I mean? Meaning, can I, because I can't write
Truck
in English,
driving or whatever.
I can probably do it.
Zorgt sich for the Balbus. I have to see if I'm qualified.
Again, 5 years ago, I couldn't read a basic sign. I couldn't read a sign which says I-90 East. You know, I couldn't read it. I'm going to have an accident.
Waze.
So, Waze.
He's gonna have an accident because he can't read a sign.
I'm saying East.
Waze.
Waze. Yeah,
You
but
use Waze, you don't know how to
Waze
read nothing.
speaks
You don't
and
need
it
to.
reads. You can follow the line.
Technology is
and all
good
that.
today.
Yeah.
Joseph-
Not as good as people would like.
Joseph, there's a lot of solutions. If you're looking for it, you're going to find them. Let's move on to your dating life and on your, a little bit on your personal life. And I feel that you're pretty open to talk about it. So what is the situation? Are you, first of all, dating girls, guys, both? What's the deal?
I am gay.
You're gay?
I'm kidding. I'm straight.
You're straight?
I'm bisexual.
You said 3 things.
Which one do you think it is?
I
Wo zat das mit, wo's Nachi tracht? Oh, this is so stupid.
don't know you well, so I would like you don't need to discuss
Take
it.
a pick. Take a guess. No, we can discuss it a little bit if you want.
Who needs? Why does somebody need to pick? How does somebody else know your sexual orientation?
Good question. I don't know.
Say shoot something. One.
Well, why would he know? This is so stupid.
For me, it's always like I don't mind anything you are.
I guess you don't
Straight?
mind. Straight. So here's the thing. With me and you asked me.
Are
if
you
I'm
okay,
gay.
comfortable talking about it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So not always. Right now I am.
Good. I'm happy that you're opening up.
Yeah. See, you're
I
making,
have
you're
something
making a
special.
safe space.
You know, people
There's
say
other
when it comes
interviews
to
where I
the
said I don't want to
podcast-
talk about it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people, when I'm doing
Do
the
it, I kind of agree.
Yes, I tell me, Nachi, after we finish, I felt so comfortable talking to you, open up, even though sometimes you have tough questions or whatever the case is, but I feel that I can talk to you. I feel like we're having a real talk, and I'm very happy that you feel the same way.
Maybe you should be a therapist.
One day.
So the question is, yeah. So the answer.
Oh, Sally.
I didn't. When I left, I didn't even know what the word gay is. I had no idea.
Were you
Even
attracted to
months
guys or
later,
girls?
I probably actually found out more about it through the Hasidic people because they kept when I was in Texas. You know, after I left, I went super viral specifically within the Hasidic community. I made like live Instagram views, and I had like 1,000 people watching how I'm live and just eating cereal and talking.
Sure.
You know?
Really?
So something like that, yeah, and like arguing with other Hasidic people. You know, so there's a lot of followers. That's when I like really went viral. That's when I built all my followers. So basically, back then, people kept asking me, "Oh, so you're gay? You're just gay? You just did it because?" And they have a word chazir. It means a pig. They call somebody who does homosexual acts. They call it a chazir, a pig. So and a little bit, I was like,
It's funny. Free zoekt, I keep saying this whole point. Free zoekt as Rav Oilem was watch the videos and a Yidden, and the masber for Yidden was Yidden tieren.
shame. Like it's like in the community, you can get killed. Like based on the scripture, it says if somebody does that, kill him. Somebody is gay, kill him.
Well, nine. Not true, but okay.
Not even gay. It says if somebody does. And by the way, the Hasidic community is so controlling. They control you so much that they always say everybody we're going to skip 4 pages of the Bible because they don't even want you to know that you're not allowed to be gay. That way you don't even know that the word exists. You don't know anything about it. You just you think you have weird feelings and stuff. And if you get caught doing something with other classmates and whatever, because I was in school and I was a young guy, you get in trouble. I mean, not trouble. You get deadly. And that's when one of the reasons that's when a story happened to me that I don't want to go into today. I have probably a video on my YouTube channel about that. But the point is,
Deadly.
That's a simple question. You got all the way. You walked up to. Oh no, I don't know.
yeah, no. So because I'm assuming you want to have a better answer. Not
No,
just.
the reason why. So I'll be honest with you. It's very personal. I just want to ask you about your dating life. But it's a simple question.
So,
Bi, straight. What is it?
Yeah, well, I don't like to answer it simple because it's not a simple answer, you know. So I'll make it quick. So yeah, basically, long story short, after I left, I was like, by the way, some Hasidic guy hacked my Instagram account and deleted all my followers. Why? Because he saw me as a threat to the community, so he wanted me to lose all. So in an effort to gain back my followers, I'm saying this probably not the first time. Maybe one of the reasons is I decided to make a video saying I'm gay. So that way I'm interesting again, you know. So I said I'm gay. Issue is that I was a young guy. I was like now I'm not as young as then. I was like still like almost a minor, you know. So like a lot of like pedophiles and like older guys reached out, started sending nude photos and like specifically like Hasidic guys that are like
you're not gay at all.
their profile. Well, so because I started saying I'm gay, I started all of a sudden so many people, even people that I might find attractive, other guys, reached out and they're like, so I started learning more about it. Before I wasn't even interested. I didn't even know what I didn't even know
You
how
were
to pronounce
technically
the word.
straight then, and then
I
because
was
you
never
opened-
straight. I was always doing. First of all, I believe everybody in the world, or almost everybody, is bi on one level or another. We all, I believe it's just like how nature. Everybody's attracted to a female. We're all attracted to males on one level. Maybe
I'm not
not all,
attracted to males.
not every male. You never did
Super
anything
straight.
in
Doesn't
school.
matter what you did in school. But
You did something, right? So the same thing
anything
with
you
me.
did in school is because you have no access to girls.
Whatever.
Whatever.
But would you do it with a pig that is behind his?
No, again.
No.
Well, what a stupid argument. This is getting stupider and stupider.
Whatever. Okay, I hear what you're saying.
So that's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
the same thing with me, it was maybe on a bigger level that I was, but nothing. Like I said, like other kids in school did way more.
what
than
did it
me.
turn out
And I
to be
remember
to
I
you
did it with
It
all
is very sad. I agree.
other kid. And I use the word kids. It
I'm
sounds
already pot committed. I would have ended this podcast. I mean, I would end it already for a while. But Sean, we gotta
Weird,
push.
but you have to
We gotta
remember-
push through.
I was a kid in
You were
school
a
and it was
kid
kids, yeah.
Kids
so,
and kids.
Yeah, because I left when I was like still a minor, you know. After I left, so I started hearing the word gay. I decided to just say gay, just to own it up. If anybody ever confronts me, go, oh, so you're gay, that's why you're like, you're just a pig. That's the word they use. I was like, yeah, actually I am. Like, and also, because I started to learn there's so many people who are really like, according to them, I believe they're also over-exaggerating how the girl from left, they're like, have a whole victim story, how they're like secret in the closet and the whole thing. But at least that's what their narrative is, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'll give them support because I couldn't care less, you know, like be an ally to them by, there's no bigger way to be an ally by self-describing myself, you know. It's like when people hate Jews, if some big celebrity comes out and says he's Jewish or he's becoming Jewish, now he like legitimized it, you know what I mean? Like, so same thing is what I did. I just said it.
I'm waiting for this to be done.
And because of that, actually, like in my life, like sexually and relationship-wise, I started to become more gay. But I always still now.
He become more gay? Oh shit. He's becoming more gay. How does that? You're gay or you're not gay? Why are you gay?
Wanted to have a wife, a beautiful like
Sexy
girlfriend to become a wife, and you know have kids, have a normal
you-
life, nothing special, nothing crazy.
So you're saying you have both attractions, but you're more on girls.
Way more girls. Like it's guys. I always use the saying. It's called "Bizen krecht man darf man auch It means that it's a Yiddish saying. It means that when you're on the way to the bar.
En het maakt me van alle Jiden was a Yiddish alignment.
Until then, you also need a little bit of coke and vodka to like the pregame. You know what I mean? Like until you find the right one, because I'm not just gonna go with anybody. I have very high standards.
Are you-
know, that's the same reason why I love the Hasidic community. I could have settled for what it is and take the path of least resistance, the path that was already designed for me before I was born. But I didn't. I wanted to change the cycle and leave the way how the grandparents had this life and they transfer the same bad life to their kids, and then the same. It keeps
wanna
going on.
change it.
Somebody's got to stop it. You know. So I decided the one who stops it suffers. For how long the suffering is gonna go on, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna go on forever. But I believe I made the right decision.
I guess. Go that Yiddish. Hold on. Hello and welcome. There's gay and then there's super gay.
At least for my kids.
So all the questions that we had a lot of people asking
Hershey, yeah, this is very hard. I'm struggling here.
about Christian and that kind of stuff is just bullshit, isn't it? We were never
If
tried.
I'm Christian?
No, that you tried saying that you like the church and you like the
Yeah,
church.
I do it sometimes for fun. I will do it right now.
It's
If you want, we can go and film.
No,
just
but
it's
not-
go lahakos. It means
okay,
just
so it's not really
show
you're trying to be Christian or you're trying to convert to be Christian or you believe in Jesus or not. You believe in Jesus just like you believe in I don't know what. You don't
I don't
believe
believe in Jesus. No,
You don't believe in
I might say it. No, exactly.
You're just saying it just to be lahachis.
Exactly.
Out of fear,
There you go.
shalom.
Hopefully,
So you should see
Hopefully this podcast will change just a little bit of your way. I'm okay with do whatever the fuck you want,
Let's
but
see.
you just gotta chill down a little bit. You don't need to bring up Jesus and Chazar and Kippur.
I do it to
Do your own
educate
shit.
people.
Nobody judges. Everybody's okay with you. We love you, man. Because we love you. Nobody. You don't need to put it in people's face.
So don't look at
But
it.
you don't need to.
Why is it triggering people so
Again,
much?
because
The fact that it's triggering
What do you mean? The fact that it's triggering. It soll triggern. Wenn es triggert nicht, wird es nicht getan.
I'm also posting stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm not doing it. Nobody feels I'm doing it specific to them. Nachi lives his own life. When you post your shit, you're focusing to hit them. To hit them spots over here. You're trying to hurt them. That's what
Who's
you're trying
them?
to
It's
do.
like
The community.
the
You're trying
only people hurt
no.
is me.
I'm saying, I understand you hurt.
They're
I
like
get
I'm a
it.
little guy. I have zero impact, by the way. I used to think that I have impact. Nobody even knows who I am.
Okay, so
I
that's
walk
my
into
point. So
a
maybe
nobody
stop.
knows who I am.
So what I'm saying is
Even
why you
outside, I
try-
walk into the people who left. Nobody knows who I am. So I'm not like that known of a guy. Maybe I have a few thousand
Bro, I'm
followers.
not Hasidish. Don't feel that I'm backing them up. I don't give a fuck.
Jetzt sucht als hat nicht das followers. Für die sucht hat das followers. He's all over the place. He's lost. I think he needs a GPS and put in therapist.
Anybody. What I'm saying is, you're just doing. We spoke. You said earlier that you think that I'm a little bit right when it comes to that. So you're just a little bit lahas too much, and there's no need for it. People care for you. You're gonna find a lot of good people, which I think that I'm not your therapist. I'm just a person that I'm getting to know you, and I feel that you have a lot of potential, and you're a good person.
Thank you so much.
We're heading to the end of this interview. Do you think that this season that you're going through now is a phase, or this is it?
Ich will es stoppen. Glaub mir, ich will es stoppen. Brooklyn. But ich had 10 minutes. Should we go for it? Should we finish it? Should we finish it here? I'm gonna end it here. I have literally nicht kan koech for them. Hold on. Hold on. Sally geschickter video. 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Don't cry. Crying's for weaklings. Don't
Sally,
cry.
what are you doing to us?
It's lazy and dumb. Dry those tears. They make you look ugly. Suck it up. You mustn't succumb. Everyone's stuck with something they're stuck with. Everyone's trapped in something they hate. What does it solve to blubber and why not be strong? Make the best of your fate. Don't cry. It's really annoying. Turn off the faucet. It looks bad on you. I know it's hard. I know you're troubled. But we've all got problems. So boo freaking.
Sally, good one. Oh man. That was funny. Ay, vay. Oh. Thank you, thank you, Sally, for rejuvenating the situation. Oh my God. Okay. Ich bin ein bisschen disheveled von der ganzen, von der situation, von der podcast. I'm not gonna lie. But I see what happened. Nachi is straight arugekommen, like hard. Hat gleich arugekommen mit seinen offenses. We don't know anything about him. And it was just downhill from there. Whoa. Ich fühle wie ich darf als eine Woche break, you know? Sadly saved us all. We were 2 seconds away from.
Oi, it is a victim.
Yeah, it was super close. It was super close. Whoa. It was heavy, and I feel like I wasted 2 hours, to be honest. Was habe ich mir gelernt? Maybe we learned that if we press buttons by someone and the wall is gonna come off, he's only gonna say things about the wall. Well, Ken, this was heavy. A lot to process. Nicht geworden Krieger. But I really think whenever he's gonna be available, I want to have I want to have a schmies with him. Because I think a schmies will work. No sound bites, nothing. I'm still going to have a schmoes with him. I want to have a schmoes because the 10 minutes that I spoke to him, the 10 minutes was gegeretziam, I saw such a different side. It was crazy. And I was proven when the zwei Chevram sich herugesetzt leben mir, and they literally 30 seconds in, and they started with their things. I saw his wall come down, and he started acting like as if he act off of the podcast. So I want to grab from the 10 minutes. But we'll see. The first hour was good. No, I think it was fresh. It's gewesen nai, and it was still going back and forth. But we still don't know wie het overgewachsen echt. We don't know if he moved anywhere or anything. We didn't get any substance. We got alles aan andere videos combined to one. Okay. Get ready for Chaimo's podcast. Met zijn. Well, I mean, yeah, I'll try to get ready. I'll try to get ready. Ga niet maken jetzt een review, alles goed. Thank you. Wow. And a lot was said, weißt, it all depends how you say it. Moest like zoek de gate at in Monroe. There's no gate. Everybody knows there's no gate. But it's a gemischt stellen darauf. There is a gate. And who would say that the Eirov is a gate? You know what I mean? But he had to double down. Well, it was a lot. I'm not going to lie. You can actually get some sense into it. Kind of kenemish. I think you really, I'm sorry, Joseph. The guys is also saying, I think you really need to go to therapy, like ASA yesterday. And everybody needs to go to therapy, technically. As we call some levels, therapy has levels. And I really think you need to go. I'm sorry, I do publicly, but no has a performance. I'm like, bruh. You can put him in his place. I can't put him anything. It's just when we get our platforms, as we Peggy is ook gewesen sehr different. Ich bin sicher, Peggy will get anders. It's just the nature of the podcast. It's just the nature. When ich habe ihm geschickt a message, dass ich will mit ihm schmies, I told him there's not going to be any sound bites. I'm not trying to push you to a corner. We should just talk. We should just have a conversation. And ich habe ihm gesagt, it's only for the people that want to get help. From in the community. So we gedacht aan in Yiddish. Needs to learn some Tanya. Is that the jacuzzi used or not? Ik voel wie ik daarvan aan de jacuzzi. Ga ook iemand zien Nachi's apartment and be like, can I use the jacuzzi? He's gonna be, no, I don't owe you anything. No, I just watched your podcast for 2 hours. Move out of the way. Thank you, Zach. We're feeling the love. We're feeling the love. I really don't have words. There's a lot of sort of shtisam plus pain. You know, when man macht a slushy, like man around, you know, a fruit shake, like man around fruits, alle fruits, a bissel lemon juice, other apple juice, orange juice, whatever, mit zint in the blender, hat pain, plus kann sich wegkriegen, a lot of hate, darf professional help, alles in a blender, mit zint tun, bringt raus Kakao, you know? So because they major defenses. Major. That he didn't want to see, even the wall thing, the gate thing, ich gewollt zu sehen. Like, oh, you're right. Ich meine, wir machen eine Minute Meditation, du. Die ganze Zeit, wir machen eine Minute Meditation, no? A group meditation, though. It was a lot. And it's sad. It's sad. I'm not gonna lie. Ich habe es nicht lieb gehabt. I don't know if he can be helped. With this episode, it seems like no. But like I said, I caught him 10 minutes. It would have gone for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, ob die zwei eingeladen wollten sich in gesetzt. Sam, welcome to life. Please put all your body parts in and enjoy the ride. Eine schreibt, we have an obligation to help this boy. He's a Yiddish neshama, and it's clear that he has been through pain, even if we don't fully know why. My heart is broken for him. Being raised in an ultra Hasidic environment is not always easy for everyone. It could be an intense and demanding lifestyle, and it's not our place to judge. I agree. I sent him a supportive message suggesting that he could use some experience to help others. He deleted the message. Yeah, he needs therapy, my man. He needs some therapy. Can't fight the fight mode. And especially if he comes talking to someone and that person puts the fuel on the fire. Man hart zit weit for him. He's lost in the big world. He can't move on from his past. No, I truly hope he gets the right help so he can live a happy life. Oh, I like that. Shai Ostreicher, 183. That makes sense. I want to cut his 15 million a year to 5. Let's see Seltzer's guys comment. Wie Seltzer's guys comment. It's funny watching this podcast. I've been expecting the opposite situation for everything he just said. I grew up not keeping any Judaism at all. My parents did not let me keep anything to do with Judaism. After I started my work life, I worked in heavy Hasidic people, and the way they treated me with such respect and dignity made me want to become religious. Now I'm fully religious, and my parents are happy about it as well at this point. Talk about reverse psychology. I don't know, that's Jehovah. Wow. I love how Nachi calls out the BS. These the Seltzer guys. Did he remove it? Or could be it was from the beginning here. Joseph, there are many great therapists that take medical insurance. And if you don't have insurance, you can definitely get approved by Medicaid. You deserve to heal. Walk around with pain is hard. Yes. Especially the gay ones. Hello. Sam Jacob. It's not a gate. You tell him. You tell him, Sam. You don't give in. Be Seltzer guy. Nebuch. My heart hurts for him. If your heart were, I've done heart steht wei for him, was dann nicht geschrieben Nebuch. Do it. Aber sie singen lechtige Nacht. Yeah, we're gonna finish this live in like in a minute or two. Oh, Joseph, this is Bamir, the channel Ochet. I can't believe how many people in the comments are mocking him and making fun of him. I feel really bad for him. He's obviously in a lot of pain. As he said himself, he doesn't know how to figure out life, and he can use lots of support. Oh, that's nice. Gelijk dan this, yes, he could use. Joel Goldberger, 2040. He was born blaming, and that's the story of his life. He needs the Rebbe to strengthen him out. That's not conducive. Oh, Schnitzelberger. Sam Jacob, Refi Shalaima. Come on. Family B. I have so many comments. I don't want to. I don't know where to start. Family B. What are you doing? Family B. What are you doing? Laat me zien wie dat replied. Where? Same. And is er aangekomen met de correction, Family B? Mati Atias. I didn't watch it, but I see a lot of pain. How do you know? You didn't watch it. And I wish you only one thing. That you find the path to right healing and become a normal person, not a victim. But how does he know? He didn't even watch it. Zach, this guy's on of the live hunt. All right, I'm not finding the seltzer guy one. This was painful. I'm not gonna lie. This was painful, Gevra. This was painful. A bit shameful. I'm gonna give some blame to Nachi. He started off pretty hard-headed. Bring Joseph Kraus. Alright, Gevra. Sie kommen in der Zeit, wie man darf sich segnen und man darf sagen goodbye. Happens to be demol is pretty simple and easier because man Kopf dreht sich. Wo geben ich für jeder eine, was du gewähnt. Für eine lange Zeit, eine kurze Zeit. Viele Devils haben mich umgezogen auf eine andere Tab und gemacht mir YouTube an der Tab. Warum ich meine dir, thank you. Wo geben ich für alle Likers, Sharers, Commenters, Subscribers. Er ist noch ein Subscribe. What are you doing? Und er ist noch nicht geliked.
Come on. Hit the like button.
Ich will geben mal Schkoich für Penny G. Für Brooklyn. Und für Zach. Für geben mal Super Chat and all that. I really do appreciate that. What keeps the channel going. Nicht vergessen, also ich will etwas schicken für das Unboxing-Video. Schicken Sie 76 Brookside. Ich habe gepinnt der Comment above. Housekeeping. Morgen. Thursday. 8:45 live. In morgen Nacht in Nishdu. Thursday night, there's no live. So that's it for housekeeping. Thank you all for being here. Until next time, stay kind to one another.